I'm not getting paid for this one, but I've been in the Jew tunnels for 3,000 years preparing. We have a diabolical update on all of the things. Iran has violated the ceasefire for the last time. Meetings are off. Negotiations off the table. A big thing is getting planned. Meanwhile, Lebanon and Israel are working together to destroy Hezbollah. No one saw this one coming. We got liptards in shambles. Supreme Court is voting for Trump. Shoe on head is destroying the left. It's just a glorious day to not be gay. Zero homosexual news coverage on the channel. We just do it in the best way. All right, lock in, boys and girls, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Your subscription was promised to me 3,000 years ago. My channels are all demonetized. The support is appreciated. The Department of Homeland Security has decided to tweet, "We won," says Iran, completely armless. No arms. Zero arms, but they make believe they're winning. Man, it's really going well for these guys, isn't it? All right, you're about to witness diabolical W's, the likes of which no one has ever seen before. All right, so the big story was the following. Just in, Iran attacks Singaporean ship in the Strait of Hormuz. Remember, the Memorandum of Understanding, which is essentially a 60-day peace deal. Dude, I can't believe how I predicted all this happening immediately. I said, the Vance camp is going to try to make a deal. The Rubio camp is like, kill them. Trump is like, we'll try both. We'll try both. First, JD, make a deal with these Ayatollahs for 60 days. Make a deal with them for 60 days. And then they started bombing random people because they're terrorists and they're horrible people in general, and they're all gonna die. They're all gonna die. No, Nux, don't be mean to the Islamic terrorists. Well, Islamic terrorists shouldn't be mean to me. All right, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, bro. It's bad news. It's bad news. But anyway, Iran attacked Singaporean ship. No one saw this coming. Obviously, the Donald was not happy about this at all. He had a lot of words for the religion of peace. The Islamic Republic of Iran shot at least 4 one-way attack drones at ships traversing the Strait of Hormuz. One of the drones solidly hit the upper deck of a very large and expensive cargo-carrying ship. I love how Donald Trump, he's just like, that ship was very expensive. More expensive than your mother's vagina. And I would know. Your mother offered it me for very cheap. The economy is cooked, and your mother was more than... Or anyway, damage was done, but the ship was able to proceed on its way. We knocked down the 3 other drones. Obviously, this is a foolish violation of our ceasefire agreement. President Donald J. Trump. Man! Orange Man does not like getting yanked around by a bunch of goat molesters, it seems. That's crazy. No one saw this coming. The Islamic attack of Iran, Pete Hegseth, of course, reposted. And the president was asked, will there be consequences for Iran for doing the thing?
You said that Iran violated the ceasefire.
You said that they bombed the fucking ship in the Strait of Hormuz. They literally signed a deal saying they weren't going to do that. Yeah, they're going to die now. That's how it works. No, Nux, but what about the Islamic terrorists? They're going to die, and it's going to be awesome.
Will they face any consequences?
Well, you'll find out.
This is old news from Thursday. Oh my God, you are so not ready for the way this develops. This development is insane.
Do you consider the ceasefire to still be in place?
I don't like the fact that they took a shot yesterday. Actually,
That's
4.
right.
We knocked down 3.
Lay down the law.
At a ship.
Pipe him, Mr.
Ship,
President.
a ship, a very expensive ship.
Happy Pride Month, Ayatollah. We are going to rape your country. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
And it was fine, but it took a little beating. They shouldn't be doing that, so you'll find out.
Will the U.S.
You'll find out.
Will the
Exactly.
U.S.
You'll find out.
Message to
Will I respond? You're going to find out.
You'll find out.
Sir, why do you think they did that?
They fucked around, and they're going to find out.
If the talks, you've said repeatedly they're going well, what do you think the motivation is for attacking the ship?
They're a little bit different.
They're terrorists.
That's why I think
They're violent, evil terrorist people, and they're all going to die, and it's awesome. No, but we should make a peace with them. Yeah, let's make peace with the terrorists that lied to us about developing enriched uranium up to 60% and stockpiled enough to create missiles and nuclear weapons to destroy our country. Yo, what a good idea. What a good idea. Are you also a 70 IQ third worlder? Is it a coincidence that's your analysis? All right, so let me introduce to you a 70 IQ third worlder, Myron Gaines, who just miserably lost the debate to Nick Mateo. All right, they were debating on genocide, and Myron Gaines got genocided in that debate. That was sad. So the memorandum of understanding is done. Thanks, Israel. Wait. Wait. Hold on. Iran strikes a civilian cargo ship, and you're blaming Israel? Israel actually abided by the ceasefire. This is the craziest thing. Abided by the ceasefire. And then Myron Gaines is like, wow, Israel, I can't believe it's so obvious. Like, it's literally 70 IQ third worlders, right? Amru Foodle over here really decided he was going to drop a bomb. It did not go the way he was expecting. Even JD Vance, Just Dance Vance, had this to say: Iran signed a ceasefire agreement. We have honored it. If they have disagreements about how the memorandum of understanding is being applied, they can pick up the phone. But violence will be met with violence. JD, who basically seems like a people pleaser, if you ask me. He's very unhappy. Very unhappy. Cenk Uygur gets involved. All right, let's go. Let's go. This is Cenk Uygur. He's the genocide supporter, for those of you unaware. He loves when Turks genocide people. It's his favorite thing. And raping animals is another thing that, in my opinion, he enjoys. I'm not harassing him already, all right? I'm already, my whole channel is demonetized for harassment. I'm not harassing Cenk Uygur by saying he probably likes raping animals. He said it himself. It's not my fault. So, genocide supporter Cenk Uygur says, we're back to bombing Iran. This is exhausting. Just stop listening to Israel. Bro, Iran bombed ships in the fucking Strait of Hormuz. What are we doing? They're going to try to drag us back into the war in every possible way. Yes, Israel's 5,000 IQ strategy of Iran molesting goats and bombing civilians. What are we even doing? This is bad. This is bad. Get to peace. Leave the region. Iran agreed not to have a nuclear weapons program. Oh, the terrorists agreed. Oh, silly me. I am such a fool. The terrorists agreed not to have nuclear weapons. Wow. I'm so glad we have 65 IQ inbred analyst Cenk Uygur. By the way, I'm not harassing him by calling him inbred. He admitted in his stream. I am not. This is not harassment. This is literally analyzing the individual who is making a geopolitical opinion that obviously came directly from the sewer. I'm just saying. Iran bombs a cargo ship in direct violation of the ceasefire. Cenk, Israel, literally every single fucking time. Now, a lot of people don't understand how humiliating this is for the entire Islamic regime. It's beautiful. So ships are transitioning through the Omani side of the Strait of Hormuz because no one actually trusts Iran. Lebanon signed an agreement with Israel to disarm Iran's Hezbollah. That's really bad. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. And nobody new buys Iran's oil just because of sanctions relief. You know, because they're terrorists and also because they're buying oil from us. That's right. You are looking at me standing before, in its red, white, and blue glory, the #1 oil exporter on the planet. Wow, how did that happen? You mean to tell me that by taking Venezuela and crippling Iran, we are now the #1 oil exporter on the planet, and if China wants oil, they literally have to be nice to us? Wow. Wow. It's almost like all the things worked out for our benefit, and everyone's retarded online. Now, the Donald had this to say: United States aircraft has struck Iranian missile and drone storage locations and coastal radar sites for violating the ceasefire agreement. Again, it is very possible that they will never learn. There may come to a point where we are no longer able to be reasonable and will be forced to militarily complete the job that we very successfully started. If that happens, the Islamic Republic of Iran will no longer exist. I told you, man. I told you, let him cook for 60 days. All the fucking retards on the planet were losing their mind. Oh my God. Trump is just gonna give them all the things. We'll see. We'll see. Orange Man knows what's happening. Don't threaten me with a good time, Orange Man. And Iran decided they have to still make believe that they're powerful. Remember, they're currently grandstanding, trying to make believe they won a war that they lost in a brutal and spectacular fashion. Remember, they were planning a war against the United States for 47 years, and they lost in the first day. Just in, the U.S. military is carrying out more airstrikes in Syria, Iran, near the Strait of Hormuz, following reports of Iran striking another civilian oil tanker this morning. So this was just today. Iran decided, that's right, we're not going to take this lion down. And they decided to bomb again. That's right, ladies. It gets better. It keeps getting better. The fuckers are still fucking around, man. And I was like, guys, why are you all worried? Iran's not going to abide by the ceasefire. And everyone's like, no, but Iran got thrashed. They're going to abide by the ceasefire and lie. No. They're terrorists. They actually love killing people and stuff. They're going to keep doing that, actually. It's part of their doctrine. Part of their ideology, I would even say. Iran just attacked an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. No casualties, thank God. And JD Vance warned them, violence will be met with violence. They are about to find out a lot. And yes, it is possible they will never learn. It is very possible they will never learn. Now, to understand the actual geopolitical genius of this 60-day ceasefire, this memorandum of understanding, Iraq launches operations targeting Iraqi politicians loyal to Iran. All right, what you are not understanding is over the course of these 60 days, this peaceful transition, this ceasefire, a ceasefire that we are trying so hard to be peaceful with, all right? Because according to Wikipedia, we lost the war, right? So according to Bill Maher, geopolitical expert and libtard extraordinaire, we lost the war. Now, interestingly enough, Iraq is launching operations targeting Iraqi politicians loyal to Iran. Hamas and the Houthis are fucking humiliated, and Hezbollah is on the way out too. That's right. I hope you're fully prepared to see what you are about to witness. Every single bit of influence that Iran has outside of their own country is getting dismantled over the next 60 days. And as this 60-day session ends, they have absolutely zero power that they could possibly project outside of their own borders. And then we could, negotiate. Then we might drop the sun on their asses, actually, but we'll negotiate. It'll be beautiful. Now, U.S. becomes first nation to host a FIFA World Cup team and strike that team's country on the same day. Oh, no. I'm sorry, you forgot the Giga Chad emoji. That's right. U.S. first country to strike another country at the same day. Though we defeated them on the field. We defeated them in the sky. That's right. Extreme and utter domination. That's right. Of course, the Iran's national team was crying. No, but they're attacking us.
It's a disaster World Cup.
He's disaster.
Disaster.
He's disaster. Bro got hit with the Goy beam and he is unhappy.
Point of charge. Of.
No.
I mean FIFA.
I
They have
tried to
to
kick ball
solve
with
every
foot
problem
and they
here, but
bombing home.
unfortunately they couldn't solve
Oy
since the
vey.
beginning.
Oy
Mr.
vey.
Infantino came to our changing room first game and he said,
Oy.
it's just the beginning.
Oh no.
It's group stage finish tomorrow. And we don't have our logistic people
He's
here.
not fair. He's
They
not
don't have a
fair.
visa.
All they do is chant death to America all my life and now they bomb us. I don't understand. Death to America. Why is America so unfair to us? Many such cases. You'll learn to love it. Sorry, man. If you don't like getting bombed by America, don't be a bitch. That's right. We could have solved all of this before it even began. Now, big news from Fars. All right, this is the Iranian state media. The Islamic Republic has no choice but to obtain the atomic bomb to remove the military option from the table. They are really fucking around a lot. They are fucking around way too far. All right, so now they're trying to make believe, oh yeah, well, we won the war so badly, because Wikipedia says it, we're gonna build nukes. Yeah, and right after that statement, negotiations between the U.S. and the Islamic Republic have been canceled. Meanwhile, the U.S. launched its largest military deployment towards Iran. This just happened about an hour ago. So, yeah, that's where we're up to right now. Now, important to note, while all this is going on, Iran's basically final front that they actually had that's not completely dismantled is Hezbollah in Lebanon. And Marco Rubio, bro, we are tag teaming these motherfuckers. We are spit roasting these assholes. All right. The U.S. is proud to be part of a historic trilateral framework agreement between Israel and Lebanon. Oh my God. Marcus Rubio is first of his name. There is more to be done.
How possible we always have to travel?
Bro, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the shit up, dude. Shut up. Now, there is more work to be done, but we're taking meaningful steps towards a future of peace, prosperity, and mutual coexistence. So Lebanon, all right, remember, look how happy all these guys are. Wow. So Marcus Rubio has decided to make a historic deal. Now, a lot of you don't understand how insane this is, all right? So Fuad Marjoumi, this is fucking president guy of Lebanon, for the first time in Lebanon's history, Lebanon and Israel have signed a formal trilateral framework under the sponsorship and participation of the United States. Now, just to understand, Israel has made many peace deals in the past. For example, they made one with Egypt, and suspiciously, they haven't bombed each other since that peace deal. All right, they've never bombed Saudi Arabia. It's almost like Saudi Arabia never bombed Israel first. It's kind of weird how that happens. So this is the first time they're actually making a peace deal here. This marks a historic milestone, a decisive step towards achieving a just and lasting peace with Israel. Now, for those of you that are unaware, and this is the craziest thing you're about to witness, this is the first time in history, same with Jordan, yeah, we know. This is the first time in history that Lebanon, the government of Lebanon, acknowledged Israel as a country. I know that sounds like not such a big deal, but this is absolutely fucking massive for stability in the region. Until now, they've just said, oh, Jewish occupation of Palestine. Not anymore. Not anymore, chuckle fucks. Nope. Resolving long-standing issues through diplomacy, strengthening the authority of the Lebanese state, ensuring that arms remain exclusively in the hands of the state, and ending the weapons of Hezbollah and all militias, thereby creating the conditions necessary for security, stability, and prosperity. Now, the reason why this is one of the biggest Iran fucked around and found out moment of all time is because Lebanon was actually being occupied by Iran this entire time. All right, you have to understand how crazy that is. All right. They've been occupied by Iran because Hezbollah has been massacring Christians in Lebanon for a really long time, starting all sorts of wars with Israel. And they were always fucking nightmares. And honestly, they basically fucked up Lebanon so much that Lebanon is like, you know what? We're going to make peace with the Jews. Oh my God, they could have never seen this coming. We welcome the role of the United States trusted strategic partner, guarantor the framework, direct participation provides confidence, credibility, and international assurances necessary to ensure the success of this process. Consulate, peace, strengthen Lebanon's sovereignty, security, and stability, and open new horizons of development and prosperity. This is huge. Really, really big. Really huge and big. Now, this is absolutely huge for those of you that are unaware, and this is a gigantic oopsie poopsie. A gigantic oopsie poopsie on the Iranian side. None of them have ever seen this coming. No one. So Anna Kasparian, this is my favorite part of the politics. I love it so much. Okay. All right, breaking. Lebanese President Joseph Aoun says framework agreement signed with Israel's first step towards restoring Lebanon sovereignty after the war between Israel, Hezbollah, yada yada. And Anna Kasparian gets involved. This man is a disgrace. Bro, this is literally the meme. This is literally the meme. Israel be like, I consent. Lebanon be like, I consent. Anna Kasparian be like, isn't there someone you forgot to ask? Oh my God. Anna Kasparian, who screams about the fake occupation, is mad at the Lebanese Christian president because he doesn't want the country to actually be occupied by the Islamic regime. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's insanely cool. All right, Anna Kasparian keeps going. Hezbollah are only considered terrorists to the invaders and occupiers currently attempting to annex land in their territory. No, Hezbollah are considered terrorists by every country on the planet, including Lebanon. All right, they've been killing Syrians. All right, hello. I love how just pro-terrorist the radical left is. The radical left just loves terrorism. Since Emily is part of the bloodthirsty group, she's referring to the Jews, which is loathed across the globe. Oh, the Jews. Yeah, W. All right, now, and dude, it's just so wild to watch this. Lebanon and Israel's agreement is gross. The martyrs did not die for this. I'm disgusted. Don't worry, guys. Libtards in America are very unhappy. That's right. Hezbollah, they're gonna die because those are Islamic terrorists. They're gonna die. That's awesome. W, killing Islamic terrorists. Lebanon is like, yeah, we're gonna kill the Islamic terrorists. Israel's like, yeah, we're gonna kill the Islamic terrorists. Libtards in America be like, no, the martyrs did not die for this. This is an American libtard, by the way. All right, you just have to understand. All right, American libtard extraordinaire. All right, no, the Died for Nothing award. No, all the martyrs got the Died for Nothing award. Man, that is so sad. Sucks. I guess terrorists are just taking L's all the time, eating shit and dying. For the first time in 44 years, Israel and Lebanon signed a framework agreement. According to the IDF, will remain in Lebanese territory for as long as there is a threat from Hezbollah. A pilot will begin in 2 areas of which the Lebanese army will enter. So it looks like pincer attack, Israel from the south, the Lebanese government from the north, and they're going to kill the Islamic terrorists. Absolutely heartbreaking news for college libtards in America. All right, let's be real. It's terrible for them. France and Britain condemned the IDF operations in southern Lebanon. And then they discovered that Lebanon actually supports them in order to dismantle Hezbollah. Dude, it's so bad. It's so bad. European libtards being like, no, stop killing the terrorists, just invading Lebanon. Lebanon be like, please keep killing the terrorists. It's so sad. It's just so sad, bro. It's so sad. Even Israel, it's really rare when Israel actually posts a good meme. I'll be real here. Israel's meme game is absolute ass. It's like Hezbollah be like, we reject the Lebanon-Israel agreement. you know, Israel, the United States, and Lebanon, thumbs up, keeps going, and we don't care. We actually don't care about your opinion. It really means nothing to us, actually. We're just going to keep going. Now, this is the Emirati expert guy. This is from the United Arab Emirates. Historic victory. The Islamic regime has suffered a major defeat in Lebanon. Pushing Iran out of Lebanon and recognizing Israel through a framework agreement is a significant achievement for Rubio and a major step towards the Abraham Accords. It means Lebanon and Israel could begin working together against a common threat. You know, Islamic jihad. That said, I remain skeptical about the Lebanese government's ability to preserve the peace, but we'll see. But we'll see. Bro, it is crazy. Breaking, and this is insane, armed ground battles have broken out between Iranian IRGC forces and Kurdish forces near Baneh City, Iran. Oh my god, it's so wild watching these guys get obliterated. These guys are getting obliterated on every possible side. I have never seen anything like this before. This is crazy. They lost in Lebanon. They're losing the ground war against the Kurds. Their people are ready to rise up at any moment. They're getting humiliated because they decided they were gonna blow up some ships and show their strength. Slovenian Prime Minister, all right, dude, we're literally watching complete libtard destruction. Slovenian Prime Minister Janez Janša announced that Slovenia will withdraw its recognition of the Palestinian state and relocates its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Bro, we are watching libtard collapse. It's insane. Last year, Slovenia withdrew from Eurovision because of Israel. This year, they will be moving their embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem and denying the existence of a Palestinian state. It's just insane to watch. It's just insane to watch the lies collapse every single time. Meanwhile, the Donald met up with a root. All right, this is the NATO Secretary General. Now, again, my opinion on NATO is we need to leave NATO. I don't think we should be part of NATO. Fuck NATO. We give them way too much money. They do nothing for us. This is my stance. Anyone that complains about giving money to Israel, we literally give like 20 times the amount of money we give Israel to NATO. And I don't see anyone talking about it, and we gain nothing from them. They suck. They're useless. They don't help us. They don't share our values, to be honest, anymore. So, yeah, I don't want to be any part of this. But we are. And the Donald made sure he was aware that we will be humiliating you every opportunity we possibly get.
Just say he's been a friend of mine. He's a great guy, great leader, great Secretary General. Everybody respects him. And I appreciate your nice words, but you really have done a good job. And I think if anybody else were in that position, we wouldn't even be meeting today, to be honest with you, because we were let down. We didn't need help on this at all. We demolished them in literally the first week. But it would have been nice if they would have said, we'd like to help. We didn't even need it, but it would have been nice if they said that. They didn't say it. But as Secretary General, and he's the boss of the whole operation, he was... I believe if I would have called him, and I didn't bother doing that because I was doing individual countries just to take the temperature and see how they were doing. But I think if I would have called him, he probably would have found a way to help if we needed it. I feel, would have been a little bit different. But I was disappointed. I was disappointed with Italy. I was disappointed with the UK. He's now gone. And, he had a lot of problems. But we were disappointed with the UK. We were disappointed with Germany and France.
That's right. We were disappointed.
We were disappointed with... most of them. Spain is
you guys suck.
Spain
no
is
offense.
Terrible, even from your standpoint. I mean, they don't want to pay anything. They think they're in for a free ride. Spain is
just humiliating
not a good group.
Oh
not a good
God.
group at all.
Yeah.
But
God damn, just crazy, just crazy. Anyway, he keeps going.
Well, let me just say, he's been a friend of mine.
Oh yeah, there's a clip I just showed. Yeah, and he just humiliated this guy. He's like, yeah, you guys actually suck. Now then they were asking Rubio about, he was in Bahrain, in our military base in Bahrain, which they struck, by the way.
But what we're interested in is not their press conferences.
Yeah, we don't care. We don't care about your press conferences.
What we're interested in is whether or not ships are moving. If ships are moving as they should be moving, then that's what we're going to judge and that's what we're going to react to. If, on the other hand, this rhetoric is backed up by actual ships being threatened and ships are not moving, that's a violation of the agreement.
That's
and
right.
We're going to have a problem with it.
And you're going to die.
So what we are watching is we see the continued flow of ships. In this particular case, that lane is the one that's being used for this evacuation effort that's being led by the International Maritime Organization.
Yeah, and then you're going to die. That's just how it works.
There's no doubt that that will be a topic that has to be discussed because ultimately you're not going to have peace and stability in this region as long as there are non-state actors operating within the boundaries and borders of sovereign countries and being...
AKA, fuck Hezbollah, they're going to die. Bro, I love this. Now, the UN has been basically doing their pro-rape propaganda. You know, it's because leftists love rape these days. I don't know what's up with leftists. You know, they used to hate rape, and now they love it. They love it so much, they'll import the rapists. They'll be like, whoa, we don't have enough rapists here. We need to bring them in. So the pro-rape UN had this to say. All right, this is a woman responding to Islamists raping. They love Islamists raping. It's their favorite thing. Whether it's British girls getting raped, whether it's Jews in Israel getting raped by Islamists, they just love it, I think. I think that's... otherwise, you have to explain it to me, because I can't think of another explanation. So this is her reaction to women getting raped by Muslims.
Please look at me. Do you believe us now? Will you apologize?
Right, this is one of the women that was raped by Hamas. Nice little silent smirk. Right, it's all of them. It's all of them, bro. Right, standing up for women. Well, unless they get raped by Muslims, obviously. And then they decided to bring in Mr. S. Muridalaj over here to be there and talking about how, oh yes, quadcopters are shooting Palestinian babies. No evidence. It's so sad. It really is. It really is unbelievable. Now, I wonder why children are getting killed in Gaza. Well, anyway, breaking news. Hamas opened up military camp for 25,000 Gazans aged 15 and up. Yeah, it turns out when you have an entire military of child soldiers, they're going to die, actually. That's crazy. No one saw that coming. Now, Tucker Carlson continues doing his anti-Trump posturing.
So Trump saw that, and he's again, not stupid. And he saw this, and he's like, ooh, and he knew right away that this was a massive mistake and that we were really exposed. We could get hurt doing this. And there was no obvious military solution. I mean, he knew that. And so he tried to...
I love how Trump is simultaneously a genius and a moron at the same time. Trump is so smart. He was able to know immediately all of the strategies. Also, Trump is so stupid for doing all these really dumb things. Man, it's pretty incredible.
Posture his way out of it. We're going to eliminate you. And after like the 400th Truth Social, they reached the same conclusion that everyone on the globe reached, which is this guy's not strong, he's weak. Strong people don't brag about how strong they are. They just punch you in the face and end the conversation.
We toppled Cuba. We toppled Venezuela. We toppled Iran. We completely cucked Hezbollah, which, by the way, killed hundreds of our people. I don't even know what we're talking about. With, like, unbelievable, monumental victories across the globe. China is buying oil from us right now. What are we even talking about?
And my father, who was a boxer, and
who was a CIA agent,
point would always say there are two types of guys, and you got to be careful of the second. They're the first who are like, "What'd you say? What'd you say? Say it again." You know, push you in the chest. You don't have to worry about those guys. And then the guys don't say anything, just knock you cold, hit you in the face with a beer bottle, and keep hitting you. And like those are the people you need to be afraid of. They're not the posturers. They're not the braggarts. In your, And I think everyone knows that intuitively. And Trump is very much, "What'd you say? Shut up, bitch." I don't take...
Wow, he's so brave. He's so brave. I would love to see Maduro tell Trump, "Shut up, bitch." You know, I would love to see the Ayatollah that died in the first 30 seconds of the war. I would like him to tell Trump to shut up, bitch. I personally would. In my opinion, you know what a strong man is? Someone that gets shot in the fucking head while he's at a rally and gets up and says, "Fight, fight, fight." That's a strong-ass man. I don't know what the fuck happened to Tucker Carlson, but I do have one thing to say. Someone in my audience showed me this video. I posted this video February 7th, 2025. So this is a year and a half old. I think Tucker Carlson, by the way, you could, pre-watch moment. Give Tucker Carlson 2 years. He is going to go on like a whole ass Jews control the media bender at some point. He's gonna go down that route. I sense it. I feel it. But anyway, that's right. My gigantic nose sniffed it in the air, and I knew it was happening. I knew it was coming, and I was right. Oops. Meanwhile, let's look into leftists in regards to these morons. All right, leftist California teachers declares she married Gaza man to give him a U.S. citizenship and equalize the playing field. Let's go. We got leftists literally bringing terrorists into the country through marriage fraud. Isn't that awesome? Dude, let's go, dude. Let's go, libtards. You guys are awesome. Heroes. Sneeko, of course, posts a picture of fucking retarded guy, Sinwar, who's dead, by the way. He died like a dog. A very, very dead dog. He died like a very dead dog. That's right. Because, of course, Sneeko loves terrorists that start wars and lose, because Muslims are really good at losing wars, historically. Then we got this guy. I don't know him a lot. He's this big Israel controls America guy, but it's pretty insane. When you watch all the people that are like Israel controls America and stuff, they all have the same talking points, and they're all just like, Actually, we should import 1 million Muslims.
issue voter. One issue voter. One issue voter. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck, bro. I said it before.
Happy Pride Month, by the way. There's no way this guy's not gay.
Turn my neighborhood into fucking Guadalajara, bro. I don't give a fuck.
Turn my neighborhood into Guadalajara. Just own the Jews. Yes, please. We need to help eliminate the white race, but we hate the Jews. Why do we hate the Jews? Because they want immigration. Now, what do I want? Immigration. Because I hate the Jews. Let's fucking go, dude.
I don't give a fuck, bro.
Oh, he hits the vine boom. 100% gay. Not even a question. Not even a question. All right, I do have to say one thing about Nick Fuentes, and you know what? You can do this. This is going to be a pre-watch moment too. All right, are you ready?
I just want to have American fascism as opposed to Jewish fascism. Does that make sense? It's like we've watched Israel kick so much ass over the past 2 years. And
basically, yeah.
You have left-wing people that are saying no one is allowed to kick ass. And I'm saying, no, we want to kick ass.
Man.
I'm saying,
it's so sad. I've been saying this the entire time. What Nick Fuentes actually wants is America to treat like European American white Christians the same way Israel treats Jews. He always wanted that. It's always been his policy. It always has been. Make sure the demographics of the country don't change too much. Actually blow up retards that suck. It's so sad to see. Shlomo Fuentes is coming around. It's pretty insane. No one saw this coming. It's absolutely wild. Oh my God. It's like he's there. It's not that he's anti-war. He's just anti, I guess, Jews winning wars. It's so sad. It's so sad. Oh my God. But anyway, it's been wild watching this absolute deep dive. You'll see. You'll see. Basically, I'm not even like against that personally. I personally also want America to treat Americans the way Israel treats Jews. I want England to treat English people the way Israel treats Jews. I actually think that's awesome. Now, again, I'm not, like, gonna have, like, this weird, like, jealous rant about it. I just think it's awesome. But it's pretty wild watching everyone basically come around to Nux Doctrine. The longer they end up around, the faster they get to Nux Doctrine. Anyway, pretty glorious to see. Damn. Democrat L's everywhere these days. It's pretty wild to watch. Now, in regards to foreign policy, a lot of interesting things have been happening, and a lot of tragic things have been happening. So, there were 2 major earthquakes in Venezuela. Thousands have been killed. All right, this is insane. The 2 major earthquakes that just hit the great people of Venezuela are both massive in scale and have left devastating number of deaths. The USA stands ready, willing, and able to help. I have instructed all agencies of our government to get ready to move quickly. We will be there for our new and great friends. Early reports are not good, President Donald J. Trump. Now, just to be clear, I am against foreign spending in general. I am very, very for helping them. I am very for helping them. Look, man, we captured Maduro. We're getting tons of oil. They're our buddies now, and we're gonna help because we are the world superpower, but we are a benevolent superpower. Venezuela belongs to us, actually. Venezuela belongs to us, some would even say. So, yeah, we are gonna help. It's a truly heartbreaking situation. They say Frogan rolled over too many times in one night, causing a ripple effect that caused all sorts of natural disasters throughout. It's almost as sad as the fact that the UK doesn't let you turn on the air conditioning because they care about global warming. No, but it's an absolute nightmare, a really heartbreaking nightmare. Now, just to understand what they're noticing in Venezuela, and this is incredible, it really is. They were like digging through rubble.
Miren esta mierda. Es anime, weón, es anime.
And they had buildings built out of styrofoam.
Anime, las columnas, esta mierda, gobierno maldito, es anime.
Look at that. Actual tofu construction.
Acá es mío. Acá por aquí.
There it is, communist quality right there, for those of you unaware. Yeah, they're not built to last. This is what happens when China's your buddy, but don't worry, because we're your buddy now. Now, I'm not surprised, actually, about this. Like, there was an earthquake, buildings collapsed like crazy. Now, you're about to hear something a little... these buildings were made in China. Now, you're not ready to hear this, but the truth is, I'm not surprised by this. A lot of the buildings that collapsed in Gaza during the Gaza war, you know, when a lot of Palestinians decided they were going to start a war and lost miserably? You know, remember that happened? It happened a while ago. Some people were talking about it, but most people didn't really care. But you know, the Palestinians decided to start a war and lose, and a lot of their buildings collapsed. A lot of them didn't even collapse because they were directly hit by missiles. A lot of them collapsed just because the building next to them got hit and theirs collapsed. because terrorists were using infrastructure materials to build terror tunnels instead of actually reinforced buildings. All right, so again, I'm not actually surprised about this because I've seen this exact shit job done before. And it's insane. It's insane how some people actually just don't care about surviving, about the actual civilian population. Communism is shit. China's help is ass. And terrorists suck. So we are Venezuela's big brother right now. We're here to help. We're here to help. We took your leader, and now you are belong to us, and we're here to help. It's honestly heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. It's like Minecraft ass built buildings here, made of styrofoam and shit. It's insane.
Welcome back and Alive Now from Fox. I'm your host, Anna Marsick. We continue following the devastating earthquakes that happened in Venezuela this week.
Man.
Take a look.
It's so sad. It really is.
Look at this post coming from Reuters saying,
look, here I am. Here, it puts it into perspective, you know. Here I am complaining that my content is harassment, and therefore YouTube banned me from the monetization platform, and I'm unemployed now. All your support helps a lot, by the way. All right, definitely subscribe. We're trying to surpass Ben Shapiro, become top Jew. Yeah, it's really sad and heartbreaking. But you know, then you see what other people have to go through. You know, because that's an unbelievable tragedy. It really is.
Rescue teams and residents search for survivors in Venezuela as the death toll from the twin earthquakes surpassed 900, with hundreds believed to be trapped. That update came this morning, and the latest update coming into our newsroom right now, we're learning that more than 1,400 people have been killed. Thousands have been injured. There's still at least 68,000 people missing, and crews are just racing to find anybody still trapped beneath that rubble. International help continues to pour in, with more than 1,600 foreign rescue personnel now on the ground from dozens of countries. The United States has pledged $150 million in humanitarian assistance and deployed search and rescue teams. Governments and aid organizations from around the world, they're sending medical supplies, equipment, and emergency relief to support this massive recovery effort. And as these emergency crews continue their work, scientists are learning more about what made these earthquakes just so unusual. What was first believed to be a foreshock, followed by a larger main earthquake, is actually now being classified as a rare earthquake doublet, which is two major earthquakes happening just seconds apart. So to help us break down what all of this means, we are joined by Harold Tobin, who is the director of the Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. Thanks so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox.
Dude, it's crazy. It's crazy. You know, one day you're going about life, everything's fine, and all of a sudden, the most unbelievable, horrific thing ever happens. It's wild, you know. Though I traveled through the valley overshadowed by death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Like, imagine needing to go through something like this. Holy crap! What a nightmare.
Thank you for having me.
Certainly. So the big story now, of course, is that scientists are classifying this as that historic doublet earthquake. What made this sequence a doublet, and how does...
It's so sad because, like, this Venezuela's prone to earthquakes, and they still built these buildings with fucking styrofoam. They built this shit with spit and duct tape. The Chinese... Oh, it's really nice that China was helping them. China helped them build their buildings made in China. Made in China. Why use metal? Metal expensive. We could use metal to build drug boats instead. So much better. Yeah, all right, dude.
Scientists ultimately determine what happened.
Yeah, the lines are very complicated in that region, but what was seen in the seismology was just that there was a pulse of energy, a kind of a pause, and then a second pulse of energy, all within, about 40 seconds of each other in terms of the onset.
We have reason to believe that Frogan flipped over twice last night. Which was something none of us anticipated.
The actual shaking lasted longer. So it's classified as a doublet. I'm sure that people who actually experienced the earthquake on the ground in Venezuela would have felt it.
It looks like Gaza. It looks like Gaza. That's insane. Holy shit.
It has one long drawn out earthquake.
And when these two earthquakes happen so close together, are they essentially sharing the same fault rupture, or is another one being triggered?
Yeah, in this case, there's lots of really intensive research going on right now as we speak about this, but it looks like that there are two parts of the same fault, slightly different geometry or slightly different orientation, but they just one kind of feeds right into the other. So it started in the western part of the fault line,
We have reason to believe that Frogan experienced sexual activity, which was, again, something that our greatest seismologists could have never have possibly anticipated.
Ways to the west of Caracas starts breaking or rupturing. The fault starts slipping towards the east, and it drove that earthquake energy towards Caracas region and actually into the offshore and all of the coastal towns that you've seen so much devastation from. So that's the reason really why the shaking was so strong in the eastern part compared to where the epicenters of the two earthquakes actually were.
So did the first earthquake change the stress on the fault enough, which set off the second ones just seconds later, or is there like a more complicated science behind that?
It kind of boils down to, yes, that's exactly what happened, is the shaking from the first earthquake and perhaps the actual just literal movement of the Earth's crust from the first one kind of slams into the already ready to go fault that created the second earthquake. So it's sort of balanced right on the edge of having an earthquake.
You know, it's crazy that we can't predict this. You know, it's crazy that we can't predict earthquakes. If you think about it, like we know the weather like a year before. All right, but the Jewish space lasers couldn't figure this shit out. So sad.
Earthquake at some point, and then when that first one happens, it just triggers the second one and the rupture.
Deme got back from her Japan trip. She entered this hemisphere and everything changed.
It just keeps going then. So that's why this doublet concept is that, you know, it's two earthquakes that you can see distinctly, but really the energy is kind of one continuous sequence at the same time.
And how common are doublets? When's the last time that we've seen a sequence this powerful happen?
Yeah, we define doublets in certain various ways. It's a little bit semantic, but they're not terribly uncommon. About 20% of big earthquakes larger than magnitude 7 may have some characteristic of being part of a doublet or so, based on some work I've seen summarized the last couple of days. So we've seen ones like that. The California Ridgecrest earthquake can be characterized as a doublet. That's from back in 2019. And there are other examples like that. The big Alaskan earthquake in the 1990s on the Denali Fault was another one.
Is there anything about the way that this sequence happened in Venezuela that's been surprising to you?
Well, you know, at one level, no, because we knew that there was a plate boundary. The Caribbean plate and the South American plate are just moving side by side, very similar to the San Andreas Fault in California. And this area hadn't had a big earthquake in quite a long time, probably of this size since the 1812 earthquake, so 200 years. And so that strain had to build up. So unfortunately, the chances of a big earthquake like this, a pair of earthquakes like this, were very real. The damage, you know, is a function of that push towards the east that really made the shaking the strongest, unfortunately, where a pretty high concentration of the people are around Caracas and the coastal region near there.
And as researchers continue to analyze, you know, this data and look into these earthquakes, what are the biggest unanswered questions that you have?
Well, always the question of how big are aftershocks going to be, and we know there are aftershocks happening. There've been quite a lot, and
that means it's not over.
There's always at least a small chance that an aftershock will be even larger than the first earthquake, and in this case, or even larger than the second earthquake, such that we could have another 7 or larger. Most likely, that will not be the case. But a long fault like this was one portion of the fault, so now there's also adjacent regions that can have been stressed by this earthquake. So that's the big question: is will this trigger some additional seismic activity? Unfortunately,
again, how can we not predict this? Like we're out here, we're predicting fucking asteroids, all right, from infinite distances. You got science assholes being there like, yes, life is transitory. You see, we are going to be smashing right into the fucking Andromeda galaxy in 4 bajillion light years, and we can't figure out when the Earth is about to fart. Like, come on, man. We should be able to figure this out. Like, bro, please.
You know, along the length of the fault, either further to the west or further
Bikini Bottom
to the east. Or aftershocks right in the same area. Lots of damaged buildings. Of course, many of them did not collapse, but they might be weakened and compromised. And so aftershocks are especially a hazard, and especially for the safety and rescue crews that you're seeing on the screen right now. They can't go into a structure that's compromised if there's the danger of real aftershocks.
And at what point does it become safe for them to go in and continue conducting their search and rescue efforts?
Yeah, well, as you can see, people are actually taking that risk and doing it because, of course, there are people trapped in the rubble and they need to get to them.
Heroes.
So it's risky.
Heroes, by the way. Heroes trying to save these people.
For everyone involved. Aftershocks tend to tail off, there's lots at first, and then even just over hours, there are fewer, and days, weeks, months. There can be aftershocks even years later, but they become much less frequent in that case. If they're really big ones, they may have an earthquake early warning that you may have heard about happen for these events too. So that can help protect search and rescue.
They might have an early warning? What do you mean they might have an early warning? What are we doing?
Rescue folks during aftershock sequences.
And I'm curious to know, where is the fine line drawn between calling it an aftershock versus saying, hey, this is another earthquake happening?
Yeah, aftershocks are earthquakes. And so, again, it's a little bit a matter of just where you define a kind of a boundary. It's not necessarily a sharp line, but if it's on the same fault system, if it's in the same area and it follows a big earthquake, we'll call it an aftershock. And we usually use the kind of yardstick that there's elevated earthquake activity after a big earthquake. And eventually it comes back down to kind of what the pre-earthquake background rate sort of background noise level was. And so when it reaches that level, we say the aftershocks are over. But really, again, they can go on for literally years afterwards.
Oh, wow. That's a really, really long time. Is there a point when the earthquake sequence comes to an end, or do these faults just continue adjusting for years?
Well, they will continue adjusting. It would be typical for a big 7.5 plus the 7.2 like this to have relieved much of the stress on that fault. So one might expect that a very large earthquake on the exact same patch won't happen again. On the other hand, this is plate tectonics. It's always continuous. And so the ends of that part of the fault are now maybe more stressed than they were before. That's plausible. So the whole region needs to remain vigilant that earthquakes are a fact of life, the fact of living on this planet. And probably they've seen the worst for the particular part of that fault system that had these vents, but that doesn't mean that the country as a whole or the region as a whole is not potentially in danger of further earthquakes.
And as these search and rescue efforts continue and many more people remain missing, what are emergency managers and engineers maybe watching most closely in the coming days following this disaster?
Yeah, well, there will be lots of analysis of any kind of recordings we have of how strong the shaking was, in a sort of a scientific, quantitative way, because that helps determine why certain structures collapsed, why other ones didn't, why certain regions had more damage. They'll be looking at...
Bro, 1,400 people died, and we get bro out here being like, well, we need a scientific way to figure out why the buildings... We know why the buildings collapsed. It's because the earth moved, and the buildings were built like shit because communism sucks. It's an awful situation, and it's a nightmare. We don't need Mr. Bro with one earring being here, being like, yeah, there's nothing to do with the fucking styrofoam buildings. There's nothing to do with that. Nope. We have to quantify it.
Especially at buildings that maybe don't show a lot of visible signs of damage. You need to know if that building is still actually safe to occupy, even if it didn't fall down in the first earthquake. So those are the kinds of things that engineers really have to pay really close attention to now. A lot of sort of forensic evidence on what factors govern.
Yeah, we should actually build the buildings with capitalism now. That's my hot take.
Which things still standing and which things are not.
Harold, before I let you go, is there anything else that we haven't talked about yet that is really standing out to you about this tragedy there in Venezuela?
I mean, the main thing I would say is one is that, it's an adage among seismologists, earthquakes don't kill people, buildings kill people, meaning that it's the construction practice.
Jumping off the Empire State People doesn't kill people, okay? It's the landing that kills people.
I mean, true, but, I mean, technically true.
Practices. We know how to build structures that are very earthquake resilient. And so, unfortunately, there were a lot of structures in Venezuela that are not really up to snuff. And the second thing I would say...
That's right. And why are they not up to snuff? Why are the buildings not up to snuff, huh? Any explanations for me, guys? Any scientists want to explain to me why when the buildings are built under communism, with the help of China, they're just shit? No one wants to go there. But these deaths, a lot of them died because of communism. And if it was actually normal reinforced buildings, they wouldn't have collapsed nearly as badly. No one wants to be honest about it. Everyone's going to scream about, oh, Trump canceled USAID or some shit.
is that here in the U.S., we have the risk of earthquakes at any time. Something similar could happen in California, in Washington State, where I live, other parts of the USA with big fault systems, Alaska. And it's a matter of the structures. We have overall...
It's a matter of the structures. And you see in America, people actually like getting paid for their work, so therefore it's not shit job. All right, now the truth is, though, bro, look at that. Look at how insane this is. Current figures, 1,430 dead, 3,200 injured, 68,900 people missing. Oh my God, what a nightmare. What an absolute tragedy. An actual, veritable, natural disaster. Holy shit. And I gotta say, thank God for our brave heroes and patriots. Against impossible odds, hope endures. The Department of State posted how American search and rescue teams are rescuing children from beneath the rubble. Dude, look at this shit. Look at that. That's unreal. That's unreal. Oh, God help these people. What an absolute nightmare. It's so sad that they have to go through this. What an absolute nightmare. Damn. Holy crap. You know, honestly, you gotta thank God for every minute, because this shit could happen. All right, you know, you think you're so smart, you've outsmarted everyone, and then boom, your country collapses completely and utterly. All right, it's unreal. It's unreal. Thank God for every miracle, but what a tragedy. It really is crazy. And the leftists are making believe it's Trump's fault because he cut off USAID. Now, you know what is insane though? Literally, this story is already out of the basic sphere. No one's even talking about this anymore. We got 3 people that died of hantavirus. People are still talking about hantavirus, and no one has anything to say about this shit. It just goes to show you how much of this is manufactured by retards to manipulate you. But dude, what an absolute tragedy. And pray for these guys. Praying for the people in Venezuela. So sad. Now we got to talk about some domestic situations. America is actually back. A lot of you are unaware, but we have been getting big Supreme Court wins, and we have a massive one coming down the pipeline, and I'm waiting. So we got to understand, of course, the New York Times released this big article a couple weeks ago. Big article. I almost never predict Supreme Court outcomes. Trump will lose this case. Trump won. Anyway, so obviously, New York Times, once again, oh, Hillary Clinton is just going to destroy Donald Trump in the polls. Hillary Clinton is just going to wipe the floor with him in the 2016 election. Remember when that happened? All right, of course, Homeland Security has been really celebrating. T as in Troy? No, Gabriella. T as in temporary. Because the temporary protected status of the Haitians was revoked. Supreme Court allows Trump to end temporary immigration protections for Haitians and Syrians, which is great, because Haitians and Syrians should not be in our country. They should be in Haiti and Syria. That's my hot take. Supreme Court says Trump can restart controversial asylum policy and get them the hell out of here. Now, I very much like this a lot, because I don't think Haitians and Syrians should be here at all, for the most part, because their cultures are kind of bad. Their cultures are kind of shit. Not gonna. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the. You know what they're doing. You know what they're doing. In a 6-3 vote, the Supreme Court rules that the courts cannot review the government's decisions to end the temporary protected status for Syria and Haiti, and says the challenger's race discrimination claim is unlikely to succeed. This is so big, guys. You know, this is the thing. Everyone was saying, man, Trump and Kamala would have been the same thing. No! Every single person that said nothing ever happens and they didn't trust the plan, they stabbed this man in the back, in shambles right now. This is a colossal W. Of course, you got the Midas touch. This is a lefty network literally crying, oh, the Supreme Court released 4 decisions. All of them were 6-3 or 7-2 with the right-wing majority writing the opinions. No! Keep crying, libtard. Keep crying. 3 major Supreme Court wins this morning. 1, Trump can end temporary protected status for Haitians and Syrians. 2, migrants arriving at our southern border in Mexico can be turned away. And 3, Hawaii gun law prohibiting concealed carry without express permission from the owner on publicly open, privately owned property is unconstitutional. That's right, baby. We are taking this. And everyone's going to be like, oh, but it's racist. It's racist. Yeah, why would you say that about the Haitians? Listen, man. Listen, man. Okay? The Haitians, if they're so good, then they should make Haiti a paradise. And everyone's wondering, why is Haiti not a paradise? No one has any explanation for me as to why Haiti is shit if Haitians are so awesome. All right, listen. I'm just trying to figure this out. Now, of course, libtards are really mad about this. They're trying to come up with Bible passages. Here, I'm going to show you some godless communists quoting the Bible. I love when they do that. It's so cool when they do that. All right, so this is what Satan does, by the way. All right, will this be part of Texas's Bible study? Leviticus, where it says that when a stranger sojourns with you in your land, you shall do no wrong. You shall treat the stranger who sojourns with you and they're native among you. You shall love him as yourself. Got him. Got destroyed. Christians in shambles because the Bible says you should treat people nicely. Anyway, bro never figured out the meaning of sojourn. Let's translate sojourn for my illiterate libtard friend. Sojourn is a temporary stay or visit in a place that is not your permanent home. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. So, wow. Yes, we are very nice to the Haitians. We let them stay for a while, and now we're sending them back. You're welcome, Haitians. Now, Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas says, quote, aliens have no equal protection rights against the federal government. So, I just want to make this clear, and this is going to be controversial, all right, but I'm going to say it right here. Yes, I have black friends. Let me introduce you to my black friends. Yes, these are my black friends. I'm really glad. I'm glad you asked. That's right, bro. No one calls this man the hard R. All right, this guy gets a hard O at the end. All right, he is not. You do not hit him with a hard R. He gets an O at the end of the word. Give him some. Put some respect on his name. That's right, the fucking Uncle Ruckus of the United States. Yes, yes, that's an American. All right, anyway, so Stephen Miller has been dropping bombs. He's been celebrating a lot.
Anybody who has read even 30 seconds of American history understands the Reconstruction Amendments after the Civil War were to ensure that the children of slaves would be franchised in the United States. The author of the 14th Amendment was clear in saying it did not apply to aliens. Jew. There should be a 9-0 ruling in a functioning democracy. The idea that you can have a country where you just set foot on U.S. soil and any child you have gets to be an American citizen and vote in our elections, collect our welfare, sit in our juries, sit in judgment of our fellow men and women is such an outrage to the idea of having a country. It defies the scriptures. I don't know what they're going to do, but here's what I can say. If this country doesn't, one way or another, end birthright citizenship, this country doesn't have a future. Citizenship has to be sacred and precious. And as we stand here on the 250th anniversary of America's founding, the idea that we wouldn't have in this country respect and sanctity for citizenship, for the voting franchise, is such an insult to generations of Americans who spilled their blood for our freedom in battlefields here and all across the earth.
That's right. Yes, they died and bled for us to have a country. We used to have a country, damn it. And we will not let you take it away from us because you found a loophole where you could import infinite retards. That's right, my guy. Now, bro, they asked him questions about Haiti. And, bro, this guy, he is an anti-racist because he loves Haiti so much, he wants all the Haitians to appreciate Haiti.
Administration consider Haiti a safe country?
For Haitians, absolutely.
Yes, that's right. Haiti is safe for Haitians, ladies and gentlemen. They was kangs, and we will send... we will...
Yes.
For Haitians. It is safe for Haitians.
Yes, so yes, Haitians live in Haiti. It's not our position that Haitians should leave Haiti.
No, we love Haitians in Haiti.
It'd be crazy for us to say that Haitians couldn't live in Haiti. It's their country. Of course Haitians should live in Haiti.
Obviously.
There's no viable asylum, or use a technical term here, CAT claim, or withholding claim, for any Haitian seeking relief from going back to Haiti.
No, we need to put them there.
The fact that there might be pockets of Haiti where there's higher crime rates, guess what? There's pockets of Chicago with crime rates just as high, right? There's pockets of cities like St. Louis with crime just as high.
I wonder if there's some similarity between the makeup of the people in Chicago and St. Louis that are increasing this crime rate.
Los Angeles crime just as high. It has never been the case that having communities that have high crime rates is a basis for asylum. Never has been, never will be.
That's right. Is Haiti safe? It's safe for Haitians. That's... No, bro, that's the greatest response I've ever heard. Oh, no, we can't send the Haitians to Haiti because Haitians make things unsafe. Yeah, Yeah, that's right. Jewish Lex Luthor dropped a fucking nuke, and you're going to have to cry about it now. Major win. SCOTUS overturns Ninth Circuit decision on asylum, which stated that person can be turned away after entering the U.S. have arrived for the purposes of asylum and could apply. That's right. We're sending them all back. It's safe for the Haitians. Safe for the Haitians. Now, Ilhan Omar says, I assimilated all the way to Congress, and this idiot still tells me to go back to where I came from. I assimilated all the way to Congress. Alhamdulillah. I assimilated to Congress. Brandon Gill responds, you have not assimilated.
caawa aan fursad u helay madaxweynaheena madaxweynaha Soomaaliya
Lex Luthor is gonna deport your ass.
madaxweyne Xasan Sheikh Maxamuud inaan maanta ku soo dhaweyno
That is not a real language. Sorry.
Minneapolis aniga iyo madaxweynaha special relationship aan qabnaa aniga adeeraan ugu wacaa asigana gabarteeyu idhahaa madaxweyne sidii qof kasta uu u yiri
Our home is your home, says the foreigner that committed, fucking fraud to get in. Azure King, thank you so much for the 5 subs. Really appreciate the support. I assimilated, says Ilhan Omar.
laakiin hadda gabar Soomaaliyeed aan ahay aniga Soomaaliyaan ku dhashay Somali citizenship ugama baahni birthright-keygii waaye dhiigayga ay ku jirtaa
Somali is their blood, bro. We gotta send her to Somalia.
waana dad aan ku diin ahay waa dad aan isku
You know, my favorite thing about Somalia is the genital mutilation that they do on 99% of women.
nahay waa dad aan
You know, it's like bananas and rice.
u danqado marka
They are the people I have compassion for, says the invader.
marka aan dhagta u dhigayo ama aan raadinayo wixii
Bro,
Soomaali
someone just followed my kick channel right now. Somalian mouth clicks. Thanks for the follow, man.
ka socdo iyo
Wow.
waxay ku
Good
hagaagi
timing.
lahaayeen iyo sidii aan ku taakulayn lahay iyo oo taas waxaa iga keenaysa Soomaali jecel aan u qabo
Anyway, she's an invader, an infiltrator. She hates our country. She hasn't assimilated, and she needs to get deported, is what I'm trying to say. Speaking of assimilators that haven't assimilated, here we have Zoran Kawami Mamdani, Ugandan communist Muslim, who shows up to say, Ashura is the time of remembrance, sacrifice, and reflection. It's funny because Ashura means demon in Japanese, so it's pretty, appropriate, I would say. Today, on the 10th day of we're remembered by Imam Hussein's unwavering commitment to truth and dignity. This timeless legacy reminds us, blah, 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 yada, yada, something, something, durka, durka. This is him pondering how best to fuck white people in America. This is clearly what he's thinking about right there. And this is what Zoran Mamdani had to say in regards to how much he loves America.
And I consider my own faith, Islam,
a
religion built upon a narrative of migration.
Ah, wow.
The story of
it's migration. You know how Muhammad migrated to Khaybar and massacred all the Jews there, and then he migrated to the next place and massacred the Christians. Then he migrated to another place after that and massacred more people. Took some as sex slaves as he migrated.
Hijrah reminds us that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, was a stranger too,
Peace be upon him.
who fled Mecca and was welcomed in Medina.
He was welcomed. All he had to do was rape and kill a little bit. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, Mamdani, after the Supreme Court rules that, we're going to be deporting all the Haitians, Mamdani had this to say.
We saw today the Supreme Court make a decision that is putting so many people's lives in jeopardy.
It's not. It's literally putting the Haitians back in Haiti. It's where they came from. If Haitians make society so shit that Haiti is a shithole, then they shouldn't be here. Isn't that obvious? Why on earth should we bring people to our country that make whatever community they're part of shit? Can we explain this for a second? I'm sorry, bro's mad as hell. He's losing all those voters, all those Haitians that were propping him up. No.
And I just came back from a rally with 1199 as I stood alongside a number of Haitian New Yorkers who are concerned about what this means for their status in our city.
Hopefully they'll get deported. That would be sick. Haiti needs those doctors and engineers, baby. We're going to be sending them back to make Haiti great again. Yep, it's going to be big.
And frankly, this city, the one that we love, is one that has been built by so many from so many different parts of the world.
That's right, like Italy and England and Ireland. Is there anything that these countries have in common? I don't know. So many different parts of Europe. Different Europeans came to America and built New York. Wow. So many people of so many different backgrounds. suspiciously, all from Europe.
And that includes our Haitian brothers and sisters, our Syrian
No, it
brothers.
doesn't. The Haitians and Syrians did not build New York. And they didn't. They didn't build New York. What do you want from me? They did. You're literally lying.
Brothers and sisters, and we stand
We was kings. Shit, man. I built New York too, man.
here ready to be in solidarity with all of those who are concerned by today's decision and beyond.
We are so concerned by what the Supreme Court said because that's the law. We are so concerned about the law because we would like to rape your country and your country doesn't want to get raped. We absolutely hate this decision. Wow. Really?
Just language of solidarity, actions of solidarity. Now,
I love how these people are like, democracy, democracy, democracy. And then literally the Supreme Court votes against them and they're like, we're worried about this. We have to kill you now.
what that means when it comes to our city is if you are worried about what this means for your status, if you're worried about what this means for your family, I would encourage you to call our Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs hotline. And you can do so at 1-800-354.
All you do is you call me and I will stand there to violate the Constitution and Supreme Court to protect you. And we will basically violate the law to keep you in our country.
0365. Again, that's 1-800-354-0365. Now, many of you know this is a city of 8.5 million people. More than 3 million of us were born elsewhere.
Yeah, get him out. Bye, bye, bye. Get him out. Bye. You wouldn't have won. He wouldn't. This is why he's so scared. He would not have won his election if not for the foreigner votes.
I'm one of them. We're a city that's proud of our immigrant heritage.
No, we're not. We're not proud. Sorry, don't want to be that guy, but we're not proud.
And when we think about especially what Haitian New Yorkers have had to deal with, not just for weeks or months or
So hard to find a good dog and cat to eat in New York.
years, but frankly for decades, we have
Asians have poor bastards have been eating possums because they couldn't find any fucking cats.
seen
Couldn't catch the squirrels.
a cruelty that has become normalized. And
It's so cruel to send people home. So cruel. So cruel for people who make countries shit to send them to the country that they've made shit so that they don't make our country shit. So sad. Heartbreaking stuff. Really sad. Just heartbreaking.
to have people who frankly taught the world about freedom have their own freedom be put in.
Yeah, I believe in freedom, so therefore I don't want every guy from every shithole on the planet to live in my backyard and steal shit from the local Walmart. Yeah, I know this is hard for you to believe, but freedom actually means that I want freedom for Americans, and I think America should be focused on making freedom for Americans, not making sure that third world retards could steal our shit. I'm sorry.
In jeopardy by the actions of a Supreme Court and a federal administration. It is not only cruel, it's something that we will not ever accept.
Oh, we just won't accept it. We won't accept the law. Oh, that's a law that was passed by the Supreme Court. Oh, we're just not going to accept that, actually. We're just not going to accept that because we don't like that, actually. Wow, isn't that nice? We need to deport this guy. Anyway, Zohran Mamdani keeps going. 4 years ago, Supreme Court stripped away a fundamental constitutional right and put abortion care at risk. Oh no, the Supreme Court is not letting us kill babies. But killing babies is a very effective way for the Islamic takeover. Think about it. Think about it. The Islamic takeover involves them giving birth to tons of people so that they can outvote us. And us killing our babies would be very helpful. So this is obviously heartbreaking. Today, we're sending a different message with New York State. We are investing $500,000 to expand baby killing throughout New York. All right, so just understand what this means. And this is really important. All right, you have to understand exactly what this means. Zohran Mamdani is taxing white people to kill white babies. And black babies. So listen, man. He doesn't discriminate. He kills white babies and black babies. Let's go. That was sarcasm, obviously. All right, now Ro Khanna, he's doing the same shtick. All right, Indian guy, he's doing the same shtick.
As we approach the 250th year anniversary of this country, let me just say this: we didn't fight a revolution to be ruled by tech billionaires.
We didn't fight any revolution. We didn't fight a revolution at all. I would be as far as to say. Oh, we didn't fight a revolution. We? LOL. Who the fuck is we, bro? Y'all starved yourself until the British left India. That's what we did. All right, what are we doing here, man? I'm sorry, man. Sar, we fought a revolution, Sar. We did. We fought the revolution. Oh, my God, dude. Stephen Miller, Lex Luthor keeps going. Change the voters. Change the country. Bro is fucking cooking. Like, it's insane. It's crazy. All right, now, again, I have to understand something really weird is going on. Revoking the legal status of hundreds of thousands of people residing in our country creates a moral crisis, which, when returning to their country of origin, is not safe or reasonable option. If we truly want to affirm God-given dignity of every human person as a nation, we cannot turn a blind eye to such an injustice and impossible choices to create families and communities. Bishop Brendan J. Cahill. I'm telling you, there is a scary infiltration in the Catholic Church. We got the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops saying this. We got the Pope saying this. We got some really weird stuff going on in the Catholic Church of a lot of people showing up to be like, actually, we can't deport the Haitians. Actually, we cannot do this, actually, at all. It's really weird. I'm sorry. It's really, really weird seeing this happen. Look, I love the Jew conspiracies as much as everybody else, but bro, we got like the entire Catholic Church basically doing this. I think there's an infiltration. I don't think your average Catholic actually believes this at all, to be honest. I don't think that your average Catholic believes this. That's why most Catholics voted for Trump, all right? But it is weird watching this happen. It is. And the Donald responded to Zoran Mamdani. The communists have made their move. I've been waiting and preparing for this a long time. It's easy to be a communist. All you have to do is say, I'll give you everything. But that means you're taking it away from others that have earned it over thousands of years. That ideology has not worked once. I don't know. Thousands of years. Oh, my God. Bro, he's the best to ever do it. I love him. He's the best to ever do it. The game is on! Enjoy watching. All right, I don't know what the Donald is planning. I don't know if he's planning and cooking up the Communist Enforcement Act. The communists have made their move. The game is on. Bro is ready to cook. It's crazy.
Freedom is going to be... Communism really is the past, and freedom is the future. That's what we are. All we want is freedom. Freedom is going to be... Freedom gets you everything. Everyone needs to get out and vote in the midterms. We have to win this election. This election is very vital. If we don't, everything that we've gotten so much. I mean, religious liberty, but we've gotten so much. Our military is the strongest in the world. I built it during my first term, strongest in the world. And people respect us again. They respect us maybe like never before. We were laughed at a year and a half ago. We were laughed at. And now we're the most respected nation anywhere in the world.
Yeah, how did that happen? The communists will not win.
This is the most serious threat to our country since its existence, in my opinion, 250 years ago. This is a major threat to our country. It isn't something that's easily solved, but with a little love and help, some hard work. Because it's ironic, we're celebrating a very important birthday, our most important birthday so far, 250 years. And instead of speaking about Christ, and instead of speaking about freedom and victories of all different kinds, we're speaking about yet another threat to the foundations of America.
That's right.
These ruthless communists will attack all religions, but in particular Christianity.
True.
They always do. They're after Christianity more than any other religion.
Can you believe we have a president that's saying this, by the way? Could you believe this? This is incredible. And people just cry. Oh, Trump's not doing enough. Trump is shifting the Overton window so much. And we are going to get a really, really based president at some point.
And it seems to be more and more throughout the world. Maybe because we're doing so well. I don't know. Maybe if we weren't doing well. But you see the numbers, how they're growing.
True. It's crazy. And bro has just been cooking. You know, we got like this gigantic Trump post also. You know, we got to obliterate communists. Communism is easy to sell. I'd be the greatest communist in history. I'd give free rent, free houses, free food, everything free, unfortunately. After 2 or 3 years, the country where this is taking place would fail. It always does. You'd start living in squalor. There would be no food. There will be no housing. There will be no military. There will be nothing. You'll be third world every way, and everyone will suffer or die. I'm sorry to say, but assassinations of those who oppose them is a very important element to their ideology. They're animals. In many cases, not smart, but in some cases, they are. It's easy for them to get followers because they make promises they know they can't keep, and the Democrats aren't fighting back. The Democrats, in many ways, they're allowing them to get in their own way. They're afraid they will lose their election. They're afraid of conflict. They're not smart enough or tough enough to fight this plague. If they fought them the way they fight Republicans or me, they'd be victorious, but they don't have the courage to do so. These are not social Democrats. They are hardcore, godless communists. Oh my God, the Trump files. Holy shit, he's cooking. This is the most serious threat to our country since its existence 250 years ago. Isn't it ironic? We're celebrating a very important birthday, and instead of speaking about Christ, freedom, and victories of all different kinds, we're speaking about yet another threat to the foundations of America. These ruthless communists will attack all religions, but in particular Christianity. They always do. I mean, let's be real here. What was the first thing the USSR did? They just massacred Christians. I mean, let's be real. Because obviously the Bible is anti-communist. The Bible inherently believes in private property and stuff like that. So, you know. Anyway, all communist countries attack religions violently. As you know, we recently struck Nigeria and largely ended the slaughter of the great Christian population. They know that if they went further, the attack will be greater, and if they don't want to get involved, I am saving Christians throughout the world, even though we are not in these various countries. By hitting these terrorists violently and hard, they will close your churches. They will kill your people. This is what they're about. This is the greatest threat to our country since its founding 250 years ago. Bro is absolutely cooking. It's crazy. I love how everyone's like, nothing ever happens. Trump is an idiot. He doesn't know what's happening. Absolutely cooking. And it's really nice to see everyone starting to get scared of the communists.
New York, the Independent Rent Guidelines Board just froze the rent. That means if you're one of the more than 2 million New Yorkers who lives in a rent-stabilized apartment, your rent's going to be frozen next year.
So they froze the rent. Well, let's see what people are saying about this. 44% of rent-stabilized units in New York City are occupied by people born outside of the U.S.
That's right. Make sure the white people can't make money. Make sure the brown people can live there forever.
American-born citizens are subsidizing the foreign-born to live in our financial capital while driving up the prices on the remaining supply. Unless the laws of supply and demand have magically repealed,
yeah, they haven't. Spoilers, spoilers, they have not been
the price control won't be a win for very long. The market will adjust.
New York City faces a budget crisis of a historic magnitude. We cannot close this deficit with savings alone. We need new revenue, and we need a structural reset in our relationship
Because you see, under communism, you can't actually create things. So what do?
With the state.
A structural uh-oh.
In other words, Commie Mamdani will basically just tax the whites and Jews, because those are the people that make money in New York. And they're going to tax the whites and Jews and give all that money to the browns. Isn't that good? Isn't that nice?
Committed to governing with the fiscal responsibility this moment demands.
Well,
that is why we are standing together this morning to underscore what is at stake and to call on Albany to deliver additional revenue.
We need more money. We need more subsidizing for people who shouldn't be in the country. New York City's Zoran Mandami didn't balance the budget. He's lying to you. New York Governor Kathy Hochul pledged $8 billion in new state aid to New York City. Wait, so they gave him...
New York, proud to announce that our city's budget is fully balanced. This
Wow,
budget
how
isn't
did
just
that
about
happen?
numbers.
So they just gave him the money?
Many said the only way out of this was slashing services and passing an austerity budget. We rejected that. After
and instead, we were just given $8 billion.
Months of painstaking work, that deficit is now
that's
zero.
convenient.
Our city
And
is now
Sneako's like, he's so smart! He's so smart!
now on firm financial ground. And that's not all. Thanks to Governor Hochul and our partners in Albany, we finally got a better deal for New York City. We're getting
the better deal is you get a bunch of money.
Billions
It's a
more from
great
the
deal.
state to help tackle the gap.
Hochul forks over another $4 billion to bail out. Wait a minute. So he got $8 billion and $4 billion, and there was a $12 billion deficit, and now there's not. Now I'm
how
not
did this
a
happen?
math magician here.
Wow, he's so good at balancing budgets.
Right?
Wow.
Like you have the governor that's literally begging them, please come back. Come back. We need the money.
I need people who are high net worth to support the generous social programs that we want to have in our state. First step should be go down.
Please, rich people, don't leave. We just want to bleed you dry.
Down to Palm Beach and see who you can bring back home because our tax base has been eroded.
Everybody's actually left New York.
How do you want free healthcare and unlimited foreign immigration? Great question. So, free healthcare, or rather, unlimited foreign immigration happens because our priorities are about destabilizing other countries overseas. Where do you think migrants come from?
He's retarded. He's retarded. Actually, you bombed a terrorist in Afghanistan, which means you need to bring in 1 million retarded cannibals into your country. That's just how it works.
Every country's failure in the entire world is not because of the United States.
No, you're wrong. The world is
In fact, I would even go a step further. Asmongold's not there yet, but he'll get there. Even if it is our fault, all right, even if it is our fault that Libya is a shithole, I still don't think we should take them. Well, that sucks. Anyway, moving on. Oh, we do not need to take 1 million retarded cannibals into our country because they did terrorism and we bombed them. Sorry, that's your problem.
Destabilize. The world has always been evil.
He's right. The chatter is right.
Buddy, we're trying to change that. We are the ones who destabilize the world.
The world has only been destabilized.
That's right. It's all America's fault, actually.
For 250 years. Before America was created, everything was totally fine. Was America bombing Europe decades prior to World War I? Share of U.S. population by country of birth? Yeah, look at this here. It's ridiculous.
Okay, I'm sorry, chatter. I dignified you with a response, but I think you might literally be too stupid to talk to. So yes, you're right. Undocumented migrants are coming in here, and I'm hoping that we can bring more of them so we can replace you racially.
And that is what must be reversed.
And it's so awesome that they just say it.
I don't want a zone run that cares about Ethiopians, Somalians. Nothing personal. It's nothing personal, guys. I'm just not from those countries, and I think we need to focus on our own guys.
No fucking shitballs. Duh. Right, yeah, the communist shit. We gotta deport these guys. Now, libtards are having the worst time of their life. Pete Buttigieg, or as we call him on the channel, Pete Buttsex, briefly separated from children as target of, quote, politically motivated false CPS report, police say. Now, that's pretty wild. So you're probably wondering, wait a second, isn't Pete Buttsex gay? How does he have children? Well, it's simple. You see, slavery never really ended because if you're homosexual, you could still purchase other humans. All right, that's how it works, actually. You're probably not aware of this. So, so he purchased humans, and then apparently CPS, Child Protective Services, was called on him. And now a lot of people are really mad about it because apparently it was a false report, allegedly. Now, Pete Buttsex had this to say. This week, someone targeted my family. This week, someone targeted my family for harm with a false report. We're physically okay, but that doesn't mean we weren't harmed. I am beyond furious. Whatever your politics, this is awful, wrong, and can never become normal. All right, so this is what Pete Buttsex had to say. As you can see, he got 10 million views. It's got 69,000 likes. That's pretty insane. Obviously, it is wild that people are calling Child Protective Services on it. I can't believe a patriot. I'm sorry. I can't believe someone would do that. Thank you for the 5 subs. Nux is gay. Oh my God, you have to stop. In honor of Pride Month, we're going to talk about Pete Buttsex. All right, it's going to be crazy. All right, now this story obviously is a little wilder than you might think. Now, a lot of people are immediately saying, Buttigieg is lying here. A lot of people are thinking, this is a secretary of mayor guy. He's a famous guy. He might be running for president. All right, he might be running in the Democrat ticket for president. All right, so this guy's saying Buttsex is lying. I deal with these kinds of cases all the time. CPS does not separate you from your kids over an anonymous, unsubstantiated accusation. Something serious was reported. This was, and there was corroboration for it to have gotten this far. Do not let him pretend to being the victim here. Something serious is happening, and he's trying to frame it as politics. Now, obviously, I don't know what actually happened. Obviously, no one does. Obviously, doing false Child Protective Service reports on random people is a horrible thing to do. I'm not saying that anyone should do this, but as a pro-life, pro-birth human, pro-natalist myself, I personally do not believe that homosexual couples should be able to purchase children. I know, I just don't think so, obviously, for so many reasons. Obviously, the abuse rate is higher. Obviously, the children are not going to grow up in a family where they're actually going to witness to actually normal human parents that are actually normal and human to be inspirations. Obviously, every person growing up needs a male role model, needs a female role model in their life, needs a maternal figure and a paternal figure. I actually do think that when you get to deviant sinners raising children, obviously, the outcomes are bad. You know, there was a really horrible, heartbreaking quote that I heard that's unfortunately a little too real that really broke my heart when I first heard it. No one's born gay. They're made gay. And it's like, what? No. And then you look into the stats of how abuse victims end up becoming homosexuals, and it's a heartbreaking, shocking correlation. All right, you know, it really is. Now, again, I'm personally against this entire situation. Now, reminder, Pete Buttigieg's best friend and mentor is serving 30 years in prison for possession and distribution of child pornography. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Again, I think only married, stable men and women, couples, should be able to adopt. And I am not a fan of the idea that you could have 2 deviants decide that they're going to purchase children. I actually am not a huge fan of this at all. That said, I'm not gonna say that he's a pedophile or a predator or anything. We obviously don't know anything, but this is a really weird story. You know, all of a sudden, bro shows up, dude goes there, the CPS separates him from his children for a couple of days, and it's like, a couple of days? CPS separated you from your family for a couple of days? That's really weird and not at all normal. It's really not. And the craziest thing is you look at the actual quote tweets. Right, well, let me see if I can find this. View post activity. You look at the quote tweets. People are freaking out about this. I've been swatted 4 times, but not once has any Democrat politician cared. Right? A lot of people are talking about this because the truth is the leftoids are making this sound like an assassination attempt when, again, it's really weird. This is an insane story. CPS said Buttigieg couldn't be alone with his kids and conducted a forensic interview with 4-year-olds solely because of an anonymous caller's claim. That sounds like something else happened, doesn't it? You know, and everyone's freaking out. Oh my God, it's homophobia. Oh no, not anything but homophobia. Bro, they even got Hillary Clinton on the job. Bro, Clinton's here. Now you know some real shit's happening, all right? When Hillary Clinton gets involved, holy shit, something's going on. The Buttigiegs have experienced a nightmare that should never have happened at all. I hope whoever's responsible is found and held accountable. My guy, look, I'm not trying to be controversial here. These people are freaking out more that Pete Buttigieg got investigated by Child Protective Services than when Charlie Kirk was assassinated. All right, when Donald Trump had multiple assassination attempts on his life, none of these people had anything to say. But now that someone calls Child Protective Services on Pete Buttigieg, everyone's losing their mind. Now, the reality is there's a lot of really interesting correlations here. Meet Barry Druitt Barlow and his husband Scott. 2 gay men became famous for being the first gay dads in Britain after their twins were born via surrogacy. Both men were charged with 18 criminal counts, including sexual activity with a child, paying for sexual services of a child. Oh my God. This comes after the men were already indicted on sex trafficking charges. Or what about this case? Tragic case of Preston Davey. This went super viral a couple days ago. In the UK, a gay couple, Jamie Varley and John McGowan Fazer-Lurkey, adopted a 9-month-old boy. 4 months later, the boy was dead. Prosecutors found that he was subject to repeated sexual and physical abuse. Varley was convicted of murdering the child after sexually assaulting him. His partner was convicted of allowing the death, along with cruelty and sexual abuse. Interestingly enough, this was not an isolated failure. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Oh my God, it's heartbreaking. It's this baby is dead, raped to death by a couple of individuals that have deviant sexual urges, and they murdered this baby, this poor baby. Baby Preston was at home with his foster parents before being adopted out to a gay couple that sexually abused and killed him. Dude, just, this is crazy. It's crazy how often this happens. Now, I was not really going to make this entire video. One of the major reasons why I am, actually, is because of Asmongold. Everyone's favorite little troll, Asmongoy, comes out of the woodwork. And Asmongold is, he's a very pragmatic individual. He is not a religious man. He doesn't actually believe that there's anything wrong as long as they're consenting adults. He actually doesn't care about this stuff. But it turns out that God knows what's up. When God says that man shall not lie with a man like a woman, it is an abomination before me, it's actually like God was correct, actually. So Asmongoy over here, watch him realize in real time, that actually this shit is evil.
Hoax where CPS were called? Oh my God. What is this here? Is this a SWAT team? Oh, people called CPS on this guy too? Oh, geez. Yeah, that's pretty weird. I don't know why that happened. He's gay with a child. I don't think that, like, I'm not against gay people adopting kids. I'm not, because I don't know what the statistics for on it.
Give him some time. Give him some time. Every Asmongold opinion is just a Nux opinion from 6 months earlier. I'm just letting you know. You should hear the way he talks about, like, Islam and stuff. Bro. Every Asmongold opinion, it's just a Nux opinion from 6 months earlier.
Here's the reason why I'm not, okay?
All right, here
like,
we go.
and I'm not even saying, guys, I'm not even saying that I am for it. Like, if there was statistical data that showed that people that adopted kids, like, my understanding is that...
Man, if there was statistical data like that, that would be a really uncomfortable truth, wouldn't it? That would be a really uncomfortable truth.
Are there higher rates of sexual abuse between if
only there was data.
Adopted kids with heterosexual parents versus gay parents, same-sex parents? Yeah, because I really would just look at the data and make a decision based off of that. I feel like that's common sense, right? I mean, no representatives show higher rates among adopted with heterosexual parents. Large random sample studies of young adults and children find substantially elevated reports of childhood sexual victimization in same-parent households. In this guy's new study, 3,000 young adults between 18 and 39, those who reported a lesbian mother were 10 times more likely to say that they had been touched sexually by a parent or an adult caregiver. 23% versus 2% for intact biological mother families.
That reaction!
Oh my God.
Oh my God, the uncomfortable truth. You mean to tell me that when God said it was an abomination, God was actually right? You mean to tell me that God actually is like right about all the things? That's crazy. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild. Because I was convinced that our enlightenment would teach us about how God was actually wrong, but turns out God was right. Seems like if you actually follow the word of God, it just gives you the best lifestyle. Isn't it funny how that works every time? Wow.
Rates of ever being physically forced to have sex are 4 times higher.
Wow.
So what's crazy about this is that it's higher for lesbians than it is for gay dudes. Female victims showed even larger. Holy shit! So you guys were right.
Oh wow!
Oh my
Would you
God!
Look at that, man! If only there was data. Am I right, guys?
These studies can capture real-world family structures adopted irrelevant because same-sex couples adopted at a much higher rate. Yeah, I wonder why. Found no difference. I'd have to look back and read all this, right?
Yeah.
But then why would it say no at the start? No robust evidence indicates heterosexual adoptive.
Yeah, because they say there's no robust evidence because there wasn't a robust study that's actually accepted by these people. And it's not even a tiny sample size. It looks even worse.
Parents proved higher rates of adopted rates. Claims of systematically safer outcomes in same-sex adoptive homes rest on weaker, smaller scale
That's
data.
a great question, Asmongold.
I mean, okay. Let me just, because you'd have to, this would take time in order to like really evaluate everything.
I respect that. I respect that he's willing to actually do the research and put in the time. Can I just say that I like that he's pragmatic and logical? I do have to say, I like it.
And I will give a concession to this, and I think this is a reasonable perspective, right? If the data showed this, and if this is actually what represents...
But can you explain why would this happen, though? Like, let's say the data is true. How would this happen? You mean because it's, even though it's just 2 people consenting. It's just 2 people consenting. What's wrong? It's almost like that ideology is cancer. Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Isn't that funny?
The difference between same-sex versus adopted sex, or sorry, same-sex versus heterosexual sex adoptions,
Look how
and it's
shocked he
10
is.
times more likely. Yeah, I'd make it so where you can't do it.
Yeah, no
I
shit.
would.
Yeah, but can you explain why? Can you explain what? Like, why would that happen?
Like it would not even be a question.
Yeah, no, obviously.
Like the ability, because again, it's like you asked the question backwards. That's why it said no. Well, I don't know if I did or not. Yeah, I mean, the 10x, like theoretically, if this was the case, I just don't know if this data is like, I mean, a 3,000, like sample study is pretty strong.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's other forms of problematic behavior with this. I worded it wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know, like which one has higher? I don't know. Adopted versus adopted. Read the second bullet point. Reanalysis found that 1/3 of children, 1/3 of children raised by married same-sex parents reported sexual abuse by a caregiver between 6th grade, more than 5 times the rate in other parental categories.
Yeah, God knew what he was doing. That's crazy.
Oh my God. These differences were statistically significant despite the small same-sex sample size. Holy shit. I'm going to have to read more of this.
Yes, you will. And I appreciate the fact that he's willing to do the research. Again, I didn't need the research to tell me that God was right, but it turns out he's always right. Now, here's a little interesting thread. For example, there was a little forensic study of character and harms to children. The summary reported behaviors that 82% of the homosexual parents and 54% of their associates were recording having poor character, compared to only 18% of the heterosexual parents and 90% of their associates. Child harm. The authors allege that out of 66 recorded harms, such as physical abuse and molestation, across the 73 children in these cases, homosexual individuals were responsible for 97% of them. That's a lot. That's substantial sample size. This only compared 6 British child custody appeal cases featuring a homosexual parent against 6 randomly selected heterosexual cases. The metrics evaluated parents for mental instability, residential instability, criminality, lying, and child harm. Reported behaviors claimed their criminality in 3 cases and lying in 2 cases involving the homosexual parents. All right, it keeps going. The study claims that court records show 82% of homosexual parents had poor character compared to only 38% of heterosexual parents. Harm to children, the text shows the 66 harms, etc., etc. And there is a ton of data, actually, it seems. Wow. Thanks for the 500 kicks, jiggles. It almost seems like when you have sexually deviant behavior, it becomes even more deviant. Then, crazy that happens. Now, a gay individual in the United States government had a pretty heartbreaking day.
Scott Wiener, okay?
Wiener. Bro's literally, his name is Wiener.
Showed up to the trans march for the first time, and we kicked his ass out.
Guess why? Guess why?
Sad because he's written some good legislation for queers. Things like, for example, lower penalties for...
These guys be like, he's pro-gay, but he's Jewish, and Israel's Jewish, and Palestine lost wars that they started, so we have to hate this guy.
Sexual relations with underage kids. Yeah, he's done a lot of really great things for queers. He's ultimately
in other words, Pedo enabler, question mark?
Genocidal supporting center-right shill. Trigger warning, broken man walking away defeated.
Scott, I think your legislation on
Scott, I just wanted to let you know. The pedophile
trans
community
issue
really appreciates you.
and your legislation specifically protecting queers on the sex offender registry is fantastic.
Why would you ever have to protect somebody from going on a sex offender registry? Why would you ever need to do that?
Because he's working with the queers. That was funny.
I really applaud you for that, and I think you deserve to be here for that. But I think your policy, and I think your policy on
That's because he's Jewish, by the way. That's right.
the genocide in Gaza, and I think your policy on the genocide in Gaza
Genocide.
is terrible. You do not belong here, Scott, anymore.
That was a pretender. Look how mad the gays are, bro.
Oh man! Because you've been wonderful. You've been wonderful for trans people, and you've been terrible. And you've been terrible.
Bro, it's so good. Watch them eat each other, bro. Watch them eat each other.
Terrible.
Look at him, bro. Like, this is the worst week of his life. Oh my God.
How could you do this to San Francisco?
Look at him. They're just going ham.
I want to
They hate him.
Yeah.
They hate him.
Such good legislation on trans rights. How could you betray queers? How could you oppress people?
See, this is heartbreaking because the pedophile community in America is really mad that he's not supporting the pedophile community in Gaza. So obviously, they just don't see eye to eye there.
Israel, you piece of shit!
Oh my God. Scott Wiener changed his stance on Gaza, causes Israel's action genocide after a viral moment.
State Senator Scott Wiener.
Amazing, bro. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him just changing it up.
Playing damage control. He says he does believe the conflict in Gaza is genocide. The statement comes days
He got criticized, so obviously he had to change his opinion to make sure that the mob would accept him.
after a forum featuring Wiener. After that question, Wiener sat silent, refusing to answer.
For those of you who saw the debate clip from last week, I want to clarify that I do believe Israel has committed genocide in Gaza.
Wiener.
There was a pretendicide. I needed to update the programming. Obviously, I didn't want to offend the gays.
Explained he is Jewish, and the word genocide can be sensitive given its connection to the Holocaust.
And now
right.
they are going
See,
to
that's why these people are gigantic pussies.
eat him alive.
That's right. They will never forgive him. Redemption doesn't exist on the left. Redemption is inherently a religious concept. These people don't believe in this.
You gotta get the fuck out my hood, bro. It's free Palestine here. You already know what it is. We against the genocide. You think you're gonna come to my neighborhood, bro? You fucked up.
Man, it's almost like they hate him because he's Jewish or something. No, probably not.
Your problem. Just innocent.
You mean to tell me that the Free Palestine people don't like Jews? That's crazy.
Children being killed in
Bro, this man's ass got genocided by... All right, we're not going to do this.
Palestine. You gonna come here like it's good. But you're pushing that genocidal agenda as a Zionist, bro. Free Palestine. Say free Palestine right now on camera, dog. Why you not saying nothing?
Never feel sorry for this absolute fucking nasty little weasel. This is
Agreed. Bro couldn't stand on business. Bro couldn't stand on anything. Yeah. I'm sorry, man. El Bozo. He gonna cry.
the guy that called Nick Shirley a psychopath with the Stop Nick Shirley bill.
Oh, is this Scott Wiener right here?
Yep, yes he is. Yes.
Scott Wiener.
This is the guy that was getting harassed.
Doing great. Can you give us your opinion? Thank you very much. Could you give us your opinion really quick on AB 2624?
I think you're a psycho scam artist, so...
You think please disclose how you think that. Look how they just run away. These guys are fools.
Is he calling them psycho scam artists? No, he's not.
No, of course not. He has to appease them. No, but I love when Palestinians rape Jews. I love it when that happens. Please. I'm one of the good ones.
Now, this amalgamation of freaks that you've allowed inside of the country, now they've finally turned on you.
That's right.
It's only going to get worse.
You think if you don't leave, we're not going to wait for you outside? Say free Palestine.
They're threatening him outside. Yeah, there it is. Hey, Wiener guy, remember when you called me McBigot? How does it feel now that the Frankenstein you created is coming for you? Every stupid communist learns this history lesson the hard way.
Right.
Enjoy.
That's right. Eaten by the monster you created.
Oh, man.
Yeah, bro, it's so wild watching
Scott,
this happen every. And this guy, what a fucking loser! And that's why the left will continue to eat each other for eternity. It's absolute cinema. You gotta say, I gotta say, you love to see it. Not gonna cry for you, wiener elbozo. Don't be that guy. I can't stand these pussies, these gigantic losers. And it's pretty incredible to watch the downfall of gay libtards. Heartbreaking stuff. Literally, the gay libtard holocaust just happened. So sad. Now, Shorthead dropped a nuke on the race war that's currently going on. I think it's regarding Carmelo Anthony. Everyone told me this video is absolutely insane. All right, so lock in, boys and girls. We got to see what everyone's favorite quote-unquote leftist, that's actually just a conservative, has to say. It's going to be awesome.
Wake up, maggot! It's time for your annual race war!
Does maggot rhyme with any other insults that are entertaining and would get me demonetized? That's what I would say if I would still monetize, but my entire YouTube monetization is frozen because I'm telling the truth too much. I'm anti-rape. YouTube doesn't like that.
Oh, you didn't want to be in a race war? Well, too bad.
Oh, well, whether you like it or not, it's happening, and we're taking.
You're in one. Your skin color is your uniform, soldier. Black people on this side, white people on this side, Italians. We'll figure it out later. Attention!
You got the right-wing Jews on one side, the left-wing Jews on the other side. The Zog puppet masters control. Yeah, I'm kidding.
Which one of you lily lickers mixed the white Monster Energy with the Kool-Aid pineapples? How many times do I have to tell you? No mixing. Now get suited up, soldier. You're heading into your first battle. The comment section of a Nick Fuentes Instagram reel. Godspeed.
Patriot! Patriot!
Hello, and welcome to another episode of I am your host, Shorthead. You may know me as Timu Boxy, or perhaps the woman who footmogged Hassan Piker.
She did do that. Now Hassan wears a suit because he was so humiliated.
Thank you. Thank you. I know a few of you have come here from that last video, so hello, new friends. And old friends, please say hello to the new friends. Do not scare them away. One of the biggest things that happened when I was gone was the conclusion to the Carmelo Anthony trial.
Oh,
now, for those of you who are unaware, for those of you...
That's when a lot of black people were like, shit, still illegal to kill white people? Shit. It didn't do nothing. Shit. Then he said, shit.
Who have no idea what has been going on, don't worry about it, kid. No, but what happened was last year during a Texas high school track meet, Carmelo Anthony, a 19-year-old student, and Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old student, got into a heated dispute after Carmelo entered Austin's tent, which
it was very controversial when he stabbed an innocent kid in the heart with a knife. And then with the controversial, obviously, some people thought that was unacceptable, and some people want you to be able to kill white people legally without repercussions. So Jedi Master didn't do nothing, actually ended up in jail. No one saw this coming. It
was like a rivalry school's tent. An argument followed, and then allegedly Carmelo said, "Touch me and see what happens." And so Austin shoved him, and Carmelo pulled a knife out, and yeah. Austin then...
It was a mostly peaceful but slightly fatal stabbing in the heart.
Passed away in his brother's arms. Court argued that that use of force with a knife was completely unjustified, that a single shove did not justify a deadly response. During the trial, jurors...
Also, let's not forget, he said, touch me and see what happens, which is literally proving premeditation.
Listened to witnesses' accounts of the events, reviewed video evidence, and after a few days, the jury found Carmelo Anthony guilty, and he was sentenced to 35 years in prison.
That neighbor's guilty! I got the noose right here.
And everyone accepted that outcome because they understood.
And then he was like, shit! But why should he go to jail just for killing white men? Then you know that white people bought slaves from black people back in the day? And we want to maintain our little race war forever and forever make it legal to kill white people? Are black people still not allowed to kill white people in this country? That ninja is guilty.
Understand how the law works, and they respect our justice system.
That was funny because that's actually not what happened.
Haha.
Carmelo! Say his name! Carmelo! Say his name! Carmelo! Only good cracker is a dead cracker. Only good cracker is a dead cracker.
I wonder what that could mean. I'm trying to figure it out. What could he possibly mean by this? Could he maybe try to make racism stop? Maybe he's anti-racist. Or he just wants to be able to kill white people legally.
I don't have an opinion. I don't have an opinion here.
These kinds of face-to-face, emotion-rising, shouting matches really do no good.
In this video, we are going to discuss
I disagree. I disagree completely. They are radicalizing people everywhere, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Insane reactions to the Carmelo Anthony trial, read some tweets, watch some TikToks, as well as debunk a bunch of misinformation because I am just tired of seeing the same ridiculous, regurgitated talking points repeated ad nauseum by hundreds and thousands of people just believing it as gospel.
Who are these people? Are these people of a specific ethnic background, or are they just people?
Hyping themselves
Is Shoe on Head noticing?
up into a race war. No, I am not kidding. That is how bad it is getting. Growing up, I was always told not to judge people based on their appearance, that it didn't matter what gender you were, what your sexuality was, didn't matter if you were short or tall or fat or thin. I was always
Yeah, they've tried so hard to push that slop down your throats. That's right. It doesn't matter if straight people adopt babies, if gay people adopt babies. Why would you cross the street for a black person? You wouldn't cross the street from a white person. You would invest with a Jew, but you wouldn't invest with a gypsy. You know, I'm just being real here. I'm just being real. There are stereotypes for a reason.
told that skin color was not important, and it's not. But you know what is important?
Culture.
Your skin's health. So before
and culture is important, actually. That's right. Actually, it's not the color. It's the culture. It has nothing to do with the color whatsoever. It's just the culture.
So let's not waste any
How do you consider the socioeconomic factors behind all the people saying the only good cracker is a dead cracker?
more time and get straight into this, shall we? They found him guilty so fast right before Juneteenth.
That's right.
These folks playing in our faces.
I mean, to be fair, if he would have never murdered a guy, he would have never gone to jail for murder.
Carmelo's only crime was not allowing himself to get beat down by a white man.
Yeah, that and murdering a white guy.
Carmelo will get out of prison. That boy ain't getting out of the grave. If he
It's almost like they're celebrating the murder of an innocent white child because they like when white people get killed. No, that's a conspiracy theory.
kept his hands to himself, he'd still be enjoying his white privilege today. White people are not victims of racism. You can't be a victim of a system you created.
Yeah, white people invented racism. Listen, man, white people invent everything. Like, you want me to be that guy? Europeans invented all of the things. So yeah, I guess you could add racism to the list.
Hey, 23-year-old white guy who can't find a job and still lives with your parents. Did you know you created the entire system we're in right now, and therefore it's totally acceptable to hate you and be racist towards you?
And want you to die, don't
This
forget
is the same
that.
stupid shit they say to men, like, oh, you created the patriarchy. Like, who the f are you talking about? Joe Schmo working at Chipotle didn't
I mean,
create-
to be fair, patriarchy exists whether you like it or not. Because ultimately, men have the force to do all the things. So ultimately, patriarchy can never actually be dismantled. Because the only way to dismantle a patriarchy is with another patriarchy. It is an inherently contradictory position. So it's not that men invented patriarchy. God invented patriarchy. That's how the world exists.
create shit. The system isn't benefiting white people at all. It's not benefiting anyone except the rich and powerful. The racism equals prejudice plus power bullshit really one-shotted these people, huh? Only a black child can be minding their business, get ambushed, bullied, and pushed around and become the aggressor for protecting himself.
Bro went into a tent that didn't belong to him, stabbed a guy in the heart, went out and cried, I didn't do nothing, and then he went to jail. And then they all were like, yeah, he's a murderer. And then they're crying about it. Man.
What? He was quite literally not minding his own business. He was in a rival's team tent and was asked to leave like a dozen times.
Actually, it was 15 times.
Witnesses say he started escalating it into a fight and then stabbed someone in the fucking heart. That's not minding your business. Why?
That's right. I have a lot of respect for black people in general, which is why I walked up to my black friends and I said, Happy Juneteenth. You're welcome. No, I'm kidding. I would never do something like that. That's obviously bullshit. But I have black friends. This is... Meet my black friends. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, quote, aliens have no equal protection rights against the federal government. That's right. That's right, baby. I just have to say, I have black friends. These are my black friends. I'm a Superman.
Why did they hire that horrible lawyer? Had to be the worst defense in history. Absolutely no reason Carmelo shouldn't have testified. We gotta do better with who we hire to represent us. Plenty of black lawyers in Texas. His family raised like $1 million on GoFundMe and then blew it all on a new house.
Yeah, that's actually because they are low impulse people that actually are just little materialistic retards that hate white people and want them to die. So the retards that want white people to die gave money to the retards. And then the retards use that money to fund themselves because they are hedonistic bullshit motherfuckers that, let's just say they have that ghetto mindset that coincidentally is very similar to certain African tribes Again, by coincidence, obviously.
And a fucking Cadillac. So then they had to get a public defender. That baby was sentenced to 35 years?
That baby, he was just a baby.
I love the community note. That murderer was sentenced to 35 years. Black people, please carry more than a pocket knife. Get their asses before they can get you. What the hell do you mean, get their asses before they can get you? That's literally—
That's right. They want you to kill people before they can arrest you for killing people. You see, they have entered the infinite spiral of anti-reality.
What Carmelo did. He got Austin's ass. He killed him. Why the fuck are they acting like Carmelo was the one—
White dude murder, black community most affected, many such cases.
Who died. 35 years on your first offense is over sentence.
I mean, this is like, they're shocked because, like, every single person they know has a first offense that's, like, stealing. Bro, this person's gonna be in jail for 35 years. Poor baby's not even gonna be able to get a second offense for, like, 35 years. That's rough. That's rough. Can you imagine needing to go through your whole life with only one offense? That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, there has to be a retrial. This is blatant injustice. First offense. And the offense in question—
Bro, we need to execute these people. We need to execute these people.
Is murder. Your Honor, it was only his first murder. 35 years ago, killing a Nazi got you a Purple Heart, but now that a German American is president, it gets you a life sentence. All white people deserve no mercy.
Oh my god. Bro, how could you possibly compare killing a Nazi to murdering a random kid in his sports tent? What are we doing?
Mercy. Now Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old, is a Nazi because he was white. Also, 35 years ago— does this dude think World War II was in 1991? Black Americans, arm yourselves. This country is officially a terrorist state of white supremacy.
Bro, we gotta— every single person that does this shit obviously should not have the right to vote. I'm just saying. Universal suffrage was a big mistake. All right, we need to go back to what the founding fathers wanted. You know, back when George Washington said to Haim Solomon, you know, the Jew that financed the Revolutionary War, "Thank you so much for financing the Revolutionary War. We are our own country now, but don't think the Jews are gonna have the right to vote." You know, he was so based. He was so real for that. He was so real for that. No, but it's crazy that we need to do this shit. It's crazy that we have people that actually and actively advocate for murdering white people have the right to vote in our country. It's insane. It's absolute insanity.
You have no reason to abide by or follow any more laws in this country.
You don't need to follow laws because murderers go to jail here, even when they murder white people.
Law enforcement and these politicians are all terrorists. Let it all fall. Time for judgment. Just as I suspected. Schizophrenia. I recommend logging the f off. Do these people just live in a completely different reality? A guy gets put in prison for murder, and they're like, wow, what's the point of—
I love how everyone needs to— I feel like I'm the only person that's not making believe that this is something it's not. All these people want it to be legal to murder white people because of some nebulous systemic racism bullshit that they came up with because they were sold by black people to white people back in the day. All right, they were slower than their brethren, so therefore they were caught by black people and sold to white people. They're really mad about it, and now they want it to be legal to kill whites as some sort of weird revenge repercussions situation to the fact that they got sold by blacks. So let's be real here. That's what we're dealing with, and a lot of people— I don't want to be rude. A lot of people are lying about it. A lot of people are lying about it. That's what it is, period, the end. Sorry, that's it.
Even following the law anymore. Having a black—
Yeah, no, you like, everyone's trying to apply logic to their arguments. Their arguments are just, we want it to be legal to kill white people, and it's really sad that it's not.
Son gotta be the tops of fears. I'm going insane. It was the white son that was murdered. Why are they acting like the black son was murdered? Why are you
because they want black people to be able to murder white people legally.
Scared of having a black son in this context? Oh, I'm so scared my son will stab someone and go to—
Yeah. They're sad that their son will be based and stab a white person and then be punished for stabbing a white person. It's actually very simple. No one is willing to look at it through this frame because this is like, bro, that's like African warlord shit. But yeah, a lot of our ghetto communities in the United States operate like African shitholes. Sorry, I don't want to be rude, but that's where we're at.
Jail one day. Like, what? What? It's only self-defense when a black kid dies. Literally, multiple witnesses, including black witnesses, including Carmelo's own friends, said that Carmelo was the aggressor in the situation. Also—
That's because they don't look at it by aggressor versus aggressed. They look at it by oppressor versus oppressed. All right? That's the difference here. The actual dynamics to the engagement is irrelevant to these people. okay? Irrelevant to these people. They're just like, the whites are the oppressors, we're the oppressed, so therefore, every time you kill a white guy, it's self-defense. That's what they believe.
So, just in general, murder is not the acceptable punishment for a shove, for a push. That's not how that works. 50,000 likes on that bullshit, by the way. 50,000 people saw that and were like, hell yeah. Black kids are the only kids who can't afford to make mistakes without dire consequences. Your Honor, it was a mistake. My client did a little oopsie poopsie. A little fucky wucky ooh woo, if you will. Black people are held to a higher standard than every other race. We are expected to be perfect, while others are given grace.
Dog, ain't no one is expecting that. I'm sorry, bro.
Excuses and— Hey, stop. Just a reminder that this is all in context of the Carmelo Anthony situation. So the held to a higher standard, in this case, the—
Shit, you go to jail for murdering white boys these days? Shit, how far we falling? Remember back in the good old days when a black guy used to get overdosed on fentanyl and we used to burn down the country? Shit, we used to have standards in this country.
The higher standard of do not stab people. I'm sorry, okay. Go on. One mistake by a black person gets used to judge an entire—
Mistake, stabbing someone in the heart and killing them.
Oops, I fell and my knife accidentally stabbed your heart.
Austin fell onto Carmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2.
I'm crashing out. Please let the next one be somewhat rational. Y'all gentlemen are so fucking dumb. Y'all really thought that he was gonna get away with stabbing that kid to death. I can tell a lot of you were raised by hoes. Finally, a normal, sane person. A strong black father tells you early that you can't get away with the same shit whites do. Oh, goddammit. Had me in the first half. When do white people get away with—
Bro, you got baited. Wait, you think these people have black fathers that are raising them? Dog, bro, you got baited. That's a troll. We all know they're not raised by fathers. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm making jokes. I'm poking at stereotypes at a comedic way. I am not harassing anyone, okay? I'm just making funny ha-has and jokes.
What is this? Where do these people live? Earth 2?
Fortunately, the United States of America.
Culture. When you get called for jury duty, do that shit. Make sure you do your part in serving justice. Every black defendant in every court everywhere is Carmelo Anthony.
So they're all murderers? We are all Carmelo Anthony. It's crazy. It's like you have people on the right being like, we are all Charlie Kirk. You know, a man that preaches the word of God, that built a family of values, fought for what he believed in, and was murdered by a vicious retard. Right? We are all Charlie Kirk. We're also trying to be good people in the eyes of God, build families, etc. And then we is all Carmelo Anthony. If I ask you what's your name, you say Carmelo.
Every black defendant in every court everywhere is Carmelo Anthony. Every black defendant in every court case everywhere is a murderer.
I mean, I didn't say it.
Are you sure that's what you want to go with? I love how he's basically like, go do jury duty so you can go blindly support any black person regardless of what they did. What?
Yes! Correct! Because despite the fact that everyone's pushing racial equality thing, bullshit, everyone, systemic garbage, they have always been tribal, like with OJ, always.
Like, I don't support every white person. Some of you are dumb. True. What's wild is this wasn't even like a cop.
But it's crazy, and the funny thing is, it's like, again, I don't want to be rude here, but it's like an actual ghetto mindset. It really is. Look, I don't know a single Jew that supports Jeffrey Epstein. Not a single one, not a one. All right, and it's crazy that we need to deal with this shit. And it's always coming from a lot of different ethnic and tribal communities in different areas of the country. Whether it's in the fucking Somali communities where they're all gonna be like, no, the pedophile that you just arrested is actually a good guy. I'm a character witness. We love him.
This black guy thing where like there might be some debate about like police brutality and over policing and things like that. No, this was just straight up a black kid stabbed a white kid, and they're losing their minds because he's going to prison over it. Fascinating.
Carmelo Anthony had been white, not only would he have not been convicted, there'd have never been charges. Bro. The only reason Carmelo Anthony was convicted was because we are a broken, fucking bigoted country.
This isn't
Carmelo
real.
Anthony was
That's
black.
bait.
Wow, thanks
That's bait. That's bait.
The input, gay Colonel Sanders. I fucking hate the Yellowstone hicklib bit. Oh, I'm a big tough country cowboy. Y'all better not say I'm slurs around here. Yeehaw! Wow, just freaking wow. Disgusting.
Cardi B, by the way.
This is not justice. This is trying to make an example. Dear white people, don't let this verdict fool you. You'll still get fucked up playing them Austin games. Don't let this verdict of a guy who stabbed someone fool you.
They still want you to die, correct?
You're still gonna get stabbed. What? Strong suspicion that a lot of pro-Carmelo...
Am I supposed to sit here and make believe that these people aren't all just celebrating and wanting to murder white people? Because obviously that is what's happening, right?
Stuff I see here is some psyop. Bro, this is what I tried to tell myself for like 6 years about the...
So happy that people are finally waking up. The noticing is beginning!
Online left. It's all a CIA psyop from the billionaires to make leftism look as unappealing as possible to the...
Nope, actually these people are retarded morons.
Working class. Bro. Of course an all-white jury found a black boy guilty for
It wasn't all white.
defending himself. Fuck you racist white pieces of shit. Fuck you racist white pieces of shit. That sounds extremely racist. Black people can't be racist, stupid hoe. It was not an all-white jury. There were Asian people, there were Hispanic people, and the black people, they did ask to do jury duty in this case, turned it down because they had
Black people can't be racist. We got that white girl.
admitted they would be too biased. Like, they literally said they would just vote not guilty because Carmelo is...
Quote, I'm not gonna put a brother in jail. End quote. Yeah, that sounds biased.
Black. On one hand, I appreciate the honesty. On the other hand, what the f***?
If they say, can you be fair? Don't say...
I'm telling you, man, this Carmelo Anthony shit, this put black people in the back of the bus for years. Mentally speaking, of course.
No, I'm not finna put a black man in jail. Don't say that.
I'm not finna put a black man in jail.
Don't say...
Don't say you're gonna run defense for black murderers. Just do it.
I hate white people, and I don't care what he did.
This is just black people hiding their power level. We are hiding our power level. In reality, I hate white people, but I'm just gonna fool them. When they ask you a question, you should finna respond. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. White people, alright. White people, alright. And then you ask them back. Are you racist?
Don't do that.
You gotta put them on the back
That's what
foot.
people were doing in this case. Okay, and then everybody's like in an uproar because there's no black people on the jury when damn near half of the black people who could have been on the jury canceled themselves out. You know?
Yeah.
Don't do that. Y'all be regular.
Overruled.
Just be regular.
Oh, God.
That's right. Get
I
in.
am not revealing my Super Saiyan form until it's too late. Don't say, I'm gonna make sure we don't put a brother behind bars. I'm gonna say, I believe that black people and white people should be treated equally. When in reality, we need to keep our brothers out of jails, especially the murderers.
There and lie to the court so you can free a person because he murdered a white guy. Incredible stuff. Also, I like how they said, just be regular. Just be regular. Just get on the jury so you can free the murderer. Then return to acting irregular.
Correct. I'm really glad that people are picking. Yes, that's exactly what they're saying. Yes. It also sounds like it would come straight out of Africa. It's pretty funny. Pretty funny.
This case is
MAGA, make Africans go away. No, I'm kidding.
Really affecting me. Making me want to go to law school and fight for my people. I'm sorry. I'm confused. Your people being... murderers? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, she got him!
Your people being murderers?
Got him!
Also, if by some miracle you happen to get into law school, you'll be disappointed to find out that intentionally stabbing someone and killing them is in fact murder.
You misunderstand. The reason why they want to get into law school is not so that they could actually make some sort of argument based on justice or fairness. They want to get into law school so that they can become judges, so that they could let black murderers out of jail. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to help. That's what they want, actually. And they're gonna get there the whole way. And every time someone tries to get in their way and stop them, they'll be like, are you racist? And no, of course I'm not racist. Would you like to become a judge now?
Regardless of what your skin color is. And there were some people coming at me like, oh, I bet you'll defend Chud the Builder. And like, first of all, who the f is Chud the Builder? This is how I know I'm getting old. They keep making these random fucking streamers in a vat overnight and then like releasing them. Did you hear about PP Boy 57? Like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I don't know who that is. If Chud the Builder killed someone, or in this case, attempted to kill someone, then he should face consequences for that. Yes. Okay, your turn. Should Carmelo Anthony face consequences? No? Oh, that's weird. Looks like only...
Niggle me this, Batman. What is 13, but also half?
One of us is the hypocrite here. See, I am not like you. I have a functioning brain and an IQ of probably maybe over 100. I can look at things on a case-by-case basis, and not blindly support or attack something, like a mindless drone. Let's go see what they're saying over on Blue Sky, shall we?
Oh, let's do it.
Fellow
Oh,
white
man, I
people.
would love to see Blue Sky. You know, Blue Sky is where the good people are, which is why it's the only social media that wasn't banned in England.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm done. I'm done again. Bye! Stay out of black people's mentions about Carmelo Anthony. We are the reason not one black juror was seated. We are the reason that an appeal filed on those grounds will surely fail. We are the reason Jim Crow is once again law of the land. Oh my god! What has this country come
We're not allowed to murder whites anymore. It's literally a Holocaust.
to when a man can't freely murder another man in cold blood and get away with it? Literally Jim Crow! Yeah, white people cannot be trusted after this trial with Carmelo Anthony. Honestly,
Dude, such a good point. You should move to Africa. They love you there. They would love you. You'd be rich. You'd be able to buy the country. You'd throw pennies on the ground and they would flock to you. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Jews, but you know what I'm trying to say.
that 35-year sentence coming down on the teenager Carmelo Anthony felt like a
Teenager, he was 19.
proxy for a lynching. Carmelo Anthony defended
Proxy for a bro, they literally should have executed him on the spot. It is a huge miscarriage of justice that they didn't just execute him. All right, let's hear what the pedophile community has to say.
himself against two white supremacists. Now that black people stand up for
White supremacist is when someone is in your place and you tell them to leave and then you stab them in the heart.
themselves, white fragility is taking over. They simply can't handle it.
White fragility is when you put someone in jail for murdering someone.
Saved himself from being lynched, and now he has to spend decades in prison. F***ing racist country. Huh? He was being lynched? Yes. Do these people live in the Netflix adaptation version of reality or something? What is going on?
Bro, the Netflix adaptation is gonna be a white guy stabbing a black guy.
Stabby, jail. No stabby, no jail.
Wow, is it really that simple?
The only reason Carmelo was convicted is because he was black. If this was a white boy, there would never be charges files. I decree that the people who was involved with this case will begin to reap the unjust decision upon their own head to 1,000 generation. All you bigoted racist people.
Yeah, 67 IQ coming in clutch.
An all-white jury. Of course Carmelo Anthony would
It
be
wasn't
convicted.
all-white.
Not an all-white jury. Yes, an all-white jury. Stop trying to make excuses for racism.
Reality. I reject your reality and substitute my own.
No, not an all-white jury. Who are they trying to convince? Other people or themselves? Anyone defending Carmelo Anthony knows that they're not defending him in good faith. Carmelo is obviously guilty of a murder that he intentionally instigated. Defending murders like this only hurts the black community.
True.
We need to hold ourselves accountable and hold ourselves to a higher standard. Oh my god, a normal person on Blue Sky. Bro, what are you doing? Get out of there. Go, run.
right,
An
give me the
all-white
rest
jury
of
in
it.
Texas convicted Carmelo Anthony of murder. Proof that the US never ended the practice of lynching. They let the courts do it instead. You don't have to support what Carmelo Anthony did to recognize the problem with sentencing a child to spend 35 years in prison based off of the deliberations of an all-white jury. Said it again, award! Said it again, award! All-white jury! All-white jury! It's time to play Horseshoe Theory!
Woo! I love horseshoe theory.
Contestant number 1.
It was the Jews.
Here is the tweet. Stop sending your kids to these race schools.
Oh, stop sending your kids to these black schools. Definitely a white supremacist.
Oh, I'm sorry. The tweet is stop sending your kids to these white schools.
Wait, was that an option? Wait, this was an option all along? Wait, we could have just psyoped them into doing this themselves? Wait.
And it came from the account Dapper Domo, who is black. You know what that means? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Into the pit! Stop bringing
Miserable.
non-black people
That was a good bit, though.
into black spaces. Teach your kids to defend themselves by any means possible. Keep your black
The United States of America is a white space. I'm just gonna be that guy. It's a white space. Everyone that's not white in the United States of America is in a white space. All right? I'm just saying. And, you know, the white people are very nice for the most part. Just
kids
saying.
in black spaces as much as possible. Keep your black children away from these devils.
You mean to tell me that if we just put black murderers in jail, they're gonna self-segregate? There's no fucking way. There's no way.
If we had segregation still, none of this would have happened.
Man, you know you ain't wrong.
He wouldn't have had no interactions with any white boy because we would have been in an all-black school.
We are going to...
Holy shit. You know what? That's so real. I did not expect the black people to be advocating for apartheid, but that's crazy.
Reverse engineer segregation, aren't we? But wokely. We don't want those evil white people drinking out of the same water fountain as us, am I right? Honestly,
and it was that easy.
Honestly, my honest, real opinion about this, my hot take of the video, everybody, here it comes. Lukewarm, microwaved, 4-day-old mac and cheese take,
Right,
here it
I'm
comes.
ready.
If they want to go make their own, like, all-black schools, all-black towns, they should be allowed to. Go for it. Black people want to
The liberals are noticing.
go create Wakanda. They should be able to.
I think they should move to Africa, personally, because the white people are bad, and there are less white people there. I mean, look, hear me out. What if we... All right, this is a really good idea, actually. What if we traded Detroit for South Africa? Like just... We could do just a swap. General swap. You can go back to your homeland. And, like, we'll do, like, a race swap of some sort, you know? Like, hear me out. We can make, like, a cool trade in general. Not all of South Africa, and obviously not all of Detroit. I'm just saying, like obviously the black people that want to specifically be in black-only areas, we'll trade them for the white people. All right? And Chicago. Yeah, we'll throw in Chicago, too.
But white people should be allowed to create Agartha. If people want to willingly segregate themselves, they should be allowed to go ahead and do
agree.
that. Dead ass. Who cares?
Total agree. White people want a white-only community in Arkansas. Knock yourselves out.
Everyone else can live in a desegregated society. They can go have their ethnostates. But you know, there's only one side that will not be able to do that. I always wondered though, let's say they do make a white ethnostate. What counts as white? Because 100 years ago, I would not have counted as white. I'm Ellis Island mystery meat. You know this. Is there like a one-drop rule? Do they like whip out the eye chart at the gate and they're like, ah yes, A10s. You may enter. Is Brittany Venti allowed in the white ethnostate? Honestly, she's like an honorary Aryan at this point. She white mogs me. Anyway, we are getting distracted. Where were we?
Yeah, the point is, at this point, I feel like white people would just take anyone that's like European. White people will be like, all right, you're European, you pass. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I've seen Somalians. Everything changed. Oh, God, I've seen Haitians.
Ah, yes. Hell. We were in hell. I'm black. I haven't stabbed anyone in the chest after being asked to leave a tent. I'm not in prison. I'm free. It's not hard to not commit a crime.
It was literally that easy.
Listen, I appreciate the sentiment here, but how did we get to a point where this is like a breath of fresh air? Let's check the replies.
He's so brave. He's so brave for not stabbing anyone in a tent.
Hopefully people are agreeing. Shut your hoe ass up. Emmett Till didn't commit a crime either. What happened to him? You're not black. You're not black. You're a boy, you ain't black. You may be black, but you ain't black. Yes, because being black is supporting all black people everywhere regardless of what they have done. All the normal black people are just called like pick-me's. They're called pick-me's for having a brain and not going along with this race grievance bullshit. Yeah. Every time like they speak out about this, they're just called the C word, you know what I mean? The term for this animal.
Yeah, we know.
Is that a slur? Like, I know what that's like to a degree. Granted, it's over me making fun of like women on TikTok, but like I know what it's like watching people in your community act like fucking morons. I feel you, my brothers. Oh my god, editor.
Real,
edit that out. Edit that.
Real, bro.
By the way, if you want an uncensored, uncucked version of this video and all the videos a day early, sign up to be a member on my Patreon. Link down below. All Patreon members get the uncensored, uncucked version. You can hear me say fucking shit and anyway, let's get back to the video. Oh my—
Bro, I need to start uploading like crazy, uncensored, unhinged stuff to Patreon. My entire YouTube channel is demonetized for harassment. They gave me no information other than that. If you could support me on Patreon, that would be awesome.
My god.
This is a racist ass country. We're in a racist ass—
Jeepus, look how fat this lady is. Holy crap. I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to make fun of fat people on YouTube. It's harassment, but holy moly. You ever wondered why there was an earthquake in Venezuela? This bitch went swimming.
State. This is a racist ass court.
Oh, shit.
Ain't nothing else to talk about.
You realize how many African children could be fed? Like, if she would just decide to skip a meal?
First of all, I forgot what I was gonna say. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I was staring at her titties the whole time. Those are giant titties. Just left the courthouse, and any white person can get it for real. I don't give a fuck. Fuck it. Dig Austin Metcalf up and stab his ass again. Apparently, a bunch of people on TikTok are doing the Austin Bop, where they dance to a song made about Austin Metcalf's murder while reenacting the stabbing.
Austin Bop, knife had blood on the tip when he dropped. How the fuck you gonna stop me? Going out back, Marlo out the box.
They were also making AI photos of themselves pissing on Austin's grave. You know, I was always told,
man, black culture. No, I'm kidding. Man, wouldn't it be brutal if it turns out that a lot of these people just want to kill whites? That would be crazy.
Not to judge people by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And boy, am I judging these people by the content of their character. Real. What the f***? These people are freaks. Martin Luther King Jr. would be rolling in his grave looking at all this.
True. Martin Luther King Jr. was like, well, all we need to do is we need to give them equal rights, and all humans will just be the same, and all cultures will be equal. Martin Luther King was wrong.
Anthony, a black teenager, has been sentenced to 35 years in prison after being convicted by a jury with no black jurors. Oh, God, here we go again. No black jurors. Who is this moron? Who is this idiot? Oh! Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter.
No
Wonderful, awesome.
Shot, dude.
I'm done. It's been a good 12 years, but I'm done. Channel's done. Video's over. This officially broke me. I'm done. Go watch Moist Critical. Go watch Asmongold. I'm done.
Real.
And right off the bat, man, free Carmelo. Straight up.
Bro, if I speak, I will. I cannot. I can't. You know, bro. Brother, look at that. Holy shit. Like, am I allowed to? Oh my fucking God. What are we looking at here, man? Look at this guy. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my God, bro. Oh, bro, is that AI? Is that AI? Is that? Wow. Ain't anything like it. Look at that. The whole thing is. That's wild. Look at that. That is an absolute specimen. Bro hit randomize on the Oblivion character build, brother. Holy shit, that's like a shiny fucking Pokemon. Oh my God, dude. Can I like, there are so many things I want to say, but I know I cannot. Because I, personally, am not insulting this man's immutable characteristics. You know, I am going to insult his mother for having sex with her cousin, but I am not going to insult this man's immutable characteristics, because that would be harassment on YouTube, and I don't do harassment. I will say nothing. I will just witness in awe.
I don't give a fuck about no white lies.
Oh my God. And you thought the worst part would be what he looks like, and then he opened his mouth, bro. Holy shit. Bro can smell in infrared, brother. Oh my God, dude. They're devolving. No, I'm kidding. I would never make that joke.
That cracker, we smoking on that Austin Pat.
I'm just insulting him because he hates white people. And because of the content of his character. Okay? The content of his character is insane. Insane.
I don't care anymore.
Bro, if you drew this man, you would go to jail in Europe. It would be illegal to draw this man in Europe.
Because it ain't no good in this shit. It ain't nothing good that's in this shit. But they trying to lay the law down. All that shit. Y'all gotta give it up. Y'all gotta give it up.
Like, I don't...
Listen, I cannot speak. I can't say a thing. Bro, when I start uploading on Rumble, everything's going to be different. All right, everything's going to be different when I start uploading to Rumble. Like, I am trying to be as kosher as I possibly can, but I swear to God, I have seen this man's face before painted on the insides of caveman walls because he is peak human specimen.
Now,
stay strong.
All that shit. Y'all got to give it up. Y'all gotta give it up.
Bro's family tree is a fucking straight line, bro. Oh my, I can't. I want to say so many, you know.
Like, I don't care anymore because it ain't no good in that shit. It ain't nothing good that's in this shit, but they try to lay the law down up that shit. Y'all gotta give it up. Y'all gotta give it up.
Yeah, we're insulting the content of his character, just to be clear. We're not judging him based on any form of immutable characteristic.
Beautifully said. Thank you, sir.
There isn't a black American on earth that is surprised by what just happened to Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, he's a murderer. He went to jail.
Not one black face in that jury box, not one peer, not one person who has ever navigated this country in melanated skin. And if you think that doesn't matter, then you haven't been paying attention to the last 400 years of American history because you don't want to. This is not new. This is the system working.
I think they should move to Africa. If America's so bad, they should go to Africa. You know, like, I'm really tired of this shit. You can go there. No one will stop you.
Exactly as it was designed.
First of all, the Black Panther LARP is cringe. It's gotta go. This isn't the 1960s. You aren't protesting segregation. You're making a fucking TikTok video, okay? Second of all, this is the system working exactly how it was designed. Yeah,
we jail murderers here. Unfortunately, we don't execute them enough.
Yeah, I'd hope. When you kill someone, you go to jail. Like, am I missing something? It was actually a refreshing change that the system was working for once. I'm tired of waking up to headlines like, man who raped corpse on subway gets 5 years in jail. Like, I'm not kidding. That was like a real...
What? It was illegal again? I can't believe it.
The real headline I saw the other day.
I'ma say it since nobody else can say it. Austin. Glad your ass dead. Austin, fuck his family, and I hope they get this message to have a up day in here, Austin. I hope you over there burning up, bitch.
I'm so proud of y'all for killing that
Isn't this incredible? It's incredible. It's almost like they just want white people to get killed or something.
white boy. See, they not used to this happening to them, y'all. My only problem is it should happen more. Can we please pick a day where we just them white people up? Matter of fact, I wish I knew where the little white boy grave was so I can go spit on that bitch.
How the f are any of these videos still up? There were so many of these videos. Are these people like...
This is evil. They are retarded demons. That's right. That's what we're dealing with. And yes, some cultures are inferior to others.
CIA psyops? I'm doing it again. No. This got so bad that people were actually going out
and everyone is doing this. Everyone is trying to cope with the fact that, but I was told that all cultures are the same. This is really bad for black people, by the way. This is really bad.
White people to get...
The bar is in hell. They just had to be like, actually, stabbing white people in the heart is not a good thing to do.
Revenge. Obviously, I can't show these videos, but there were multiple incidences of this. These people live in a delusional alternate reality, and they're becoming radicalized to take revenge for shit that isn't even happening. But like every other week, I have to read another stupid New York Times article about how like 20-year-old white boys are being radicalized into the alt-right because they watch Jordan Peterson or some shit. Like, you. And like people have been so brainwashed to believe that they're racist because they post like edgy memes. No, you're not racist with your 4chan memes. These people are racist.
Obviously.
You're like a level 1, maybe level 2 racist. These are like level 9 racists. You have no idea what racism is. I've seen your friend groups. Racist friend groups do not care what race you are as long as you are also racist. These people are significantly more racist than you will ever be. Hell, even the KKK, level 10 racists, wore hoods to conceal their identity. These people are out here posting this shit. Full government name and face.
Right.
I got 5 boys. I don't know why. I ain't got nothing to tell them no more.
I deadass gotta look.
I ain't got nothing to tell them no more. Can't even kill white people anymore. I miss America when you were able to kill white people and then burn down the country for killing white people. I miss the good old days when you used to overdose off fentanyl. We used to burn down America and steal shit. Now, we wouldn't steal shit from libraries, but we would steal shit from fucking other places like Walmart. We would steal every Walmart. Libraries were safe, though. They hold some sort of mystical force field. We weren't able to breach the force field protecting the libraries.
Look at my sweet innocent son one day and explain to him that people hate us simply because we were born black.
Yeah, and if you're murderers, we hate you if you kill people mostly, yeah.
What am I supposed to tell my son? I don't f***ing know. Not to kill people? Yeah. Like, okay, sorry. I don't know what it's like to be black, okay? I don't know, maybe-
I have bad socioeconomic conditions. I'm poor and shit. I'm trying to raise 5 boys. My husband's in jail. I'm trying to survive. I just had to steal makeup from the CVS. Yep, I just had to do it to survive.
It's a completely different experience that I will never understand. But in this case, nobody is hating Carmelo because he is black. They are hating Carmelo because he killed someone. I basically said this on Twitter and some liberal account was like, remember when Shu was a leftist? Ah, yes!
Leftists. Oh, love revolution. Remember when leftists were like, oh, we should just kill white people?
It's the famous leftist policy being pro-murder.
Correct. Leftist policy is pro-murder. 1.1 million babies were murdered via abortion this year. 25% of our generation was aborted. Yes, actually, leftist policy is pro-murder. And yes, obviously, it extends into other areas. Yes, leftist policy is pro-murder. Correct. I'm really glad that people are starting to get it. Yes. Leftist policy is also pro-stealing. They want to steal from people that earn money and redistribute it to people that didn't earn money. Yes! Thou shalt not steal and thou shalt not murder are both leftist policy positions, except in the affirmative. Thou shalt not covet exists too. Oh, there's no such trillionaires shouldn't exist because I'm poor and I want to take his money for myself. I want his money for myself. Yes, thou shalt not covet is also a classic leftist position. Thou shalt not commit adultery? Excuse me, have you woken up and you looked at infinite retarded gay sex happening over there? Oh, get out of here, bro. The 10 Commandments are suggestions for these people. The Pride community is literally the 7 deadly sins as their tenets and laws. Yes, the left loves that shit. Yes, they're evil bastards. And yes, Shuanhead called me out for being overly brutal to the left. I was not brutal enough. I remember Shuanhead called me out back in the day, a couple videos ago. She said, I'm not Nuxanor, that I just think that the left is evil. Well, the left is evil. Wake up and realize that this entire blacktivist community coming out to talk about murdering white people, this is accepted in the left. You used to be a leftist.
Remember back when Shuanhead was pro-murder. Silly me! How could I fall so far? Leftism isn't about wealth inequality or workers' rights. No. It's
correct.
About letting black people stab white people.
Yes, that is part of it. Correct. Yes, I'm glad people are waking up, yes.
Clearly. To be completely honest, I have seen what being a good leftist is to you people, and with all due respect, you fucking no thank you.
We also know now that yes, Carmelo Anthony may have had a tool in his backpack that no, he shouldn't have brought it to a track meet, but it was there. It had a 3.5-inch blade, but also in that backpack, he had snacks. He had school puzzles, and he had a cross.
Your Honor, yes, the defendant may have had a knife, but he also had Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yep.
I rest my case.
That's it. It's over.
Real lawyer, by the way. That woman is a real lawyer. There were thousands and thousands of videos and tweets just like this. You probably get the point. These weren't just like cherry picked. They were everywhere. But it wasn't just Twitter nobodies and blue sky nobodies. There was also celebrities, Congress people saying this insane shit.
Black women live in fear and agony every single day.
Right.
A fear and agony that I promise you, the Metcalfs probably never spent a day living that way.
Yes, someone's teenage son was murdered, but please keep in mind the real victims here. Black women.
That's right.
I don't know what he had.
It was like it seemed like it was a multi-tool, almost like a Swiss Army knife.
Like with the little scissors and everything and whatever. So it was small.
Your Honor, the knife my client used to kill the man was small. Yep. What? By the way, I've not seen a single Democrat politician come out and disavow this idiot. So until then,
they want the votes. Obviously, it's always part of the plan. They love the criminals, they love the rapists, they love the illegals because they vote for them and they defend them. Yup, exactly.
I'm just going to assume
and Zoran Mamdani's aunt is the true victim of 9/11. That's exactly how it was small. It was small.
They all agree. What's funny is they can't come out and disavow it because they'll all be attacked and called racist, and they know it. This was a viral Substack written by a university professor. Are you ready for this? Dear Jeff Metcalf, your son is dead because you failed to teach him that black boys have boundaries. Yesterday evening, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, used his victim impact statement to address Carmelo Anthony directly after he was sentenced to 35 years after the court treated his act of survival as murder. The elder Metcalf reportedly described Austin as a boy, twin, son, leader, true warrior. He remembered him as a baby grabbing his finger. He talked about teaching him to fish, watching him take his first buck, and seeing him grow up too fast. He spoke of a scholarship created in Austin's memory, and said his family has been robbed. And right there, his own words, Jeff Metcalf told on himself. In your own memorial language, you told us about the kind of white boyhood Austin was raised inside. It was a boyhood steeped in
He was a boy. You murdered an innocent man and now you're justifying it.
Conquest language, hunting rituals, warrior fantasies, masculine toughness, and the
these are all good things, actually, and you're retarded and gay.
Romance of force. You told us about a child praised for not just being kind, curious, gentle, or careful, but for becoming a leader and a warrior in a racist culture where those words too often mean dominance. This psycho saw a grieving father describe his son as a leader and a warrior and freak the f out because his son is white and therefore that's like white supremacy or some shit. In their world, white people are like only allowed to hate themselves, right? Yeah. That's why libs are often the way that they are, just like absolute cucks, just like rolling over and showing their bellies. Haha, white people can't dance. Haha, white people, like, they don't season their food. Because being anything other than that gets you treated like this. Reminder that this is a professor in a college teaching students right now, and you wonder why people are the way that they are. I swear we had it made in the 90s. I swear that was like peak normalcy. Do you feel that way? Maybe I'm just like a stupid millennial like nostalgia because I was a child back then and didn't know. I don't know. I kind of feel like race relations were better back then because it was all like, oh, we don't see color, and then they flipped it and they were like, actually, if you don't see color, you're racist. You have to acknowledge your white privilege and you're a colonizer. Like, what the f? I feel like my worldview's just been shattered. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean we can't just all be in a circle and sing Kumbaya? What is this? Like, I was always taught from my parents, from my teachers.
Man,
like,
everyone just been psyoped into thinking this way. It's crazy. It really is.
Judge people on their skin color, blah, 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 blah. And like, were these people just not taught that? Were they not taught that? I feel like they were just taught from a young age, like, white people bad, like, it was just hammered into their fucking head.
Yeah, you gotta shatter this worldview. Actually, look, maybe I'm biased. Justice and morality comes from God. It doesn't come from whatever these retards are teaching you. So yeah, obviously, their entire ideology is based on retarded bullshit. It really is. It's spit and duct tape that's holding this shit together. You know, Obama, the great divider, as they call him. You know, everyone's trying to push their retarded garbage. Yeah, obviously some cultures are worse than others. You see what they're based on. The cultures that are based on the Bible are better than the cultures that are not based on the Bible. Period. The end. And the reason is because they worship demons. Yep, that's right. That's why it's worse. And the culture's worse. Sorry, it's pretty obvious, actually. You know, and if you have that perspective on life, you start to recognize, oh, you're just a white supremacist. You're just a white You just think that you're better than that. Listen, man, I'm just a simple man. I'm a simple man. And I believe that murder is bad. And they think that you should eat people. So therefore, yeah, they're shit. Sorry, that's just where we're at. Gallant Fuzz, thank you for the 5 subs. So yeah, hot take, that's just normal. Right? And it should have always been considered normal to look at it from that perspective.
And like, honestly, like, white people get told that in like university. Like, they go to college and they get told white people are bad, white people are bad. It's really upsetting.
And again, imagine having zero actual moral foundation to any of the things that you're saying, right? Like, again, if you're brought up to believe in fucking nothing, all right, and you're just literally manipulated and groomed into this belief system by your teachers, by your college, then yeah, obviously you're going to believe in the unbelievable, because why shouldn't you? That's what all these other wise people have told us, and it'll make me feel better, because first they make you feel bad that you're white or whatever, and then they make you feel good when you recognize the suffering that you've caused other people 1,000 years ago. Yeah, but that obviously doesn't work if you actually have a moral foundation. It's kind of like mind control, except gayer.
That a family had to bury their child, and it's all being overshadowed by insane people trying to make it about race. In a normal world, it wouldn't be.
I mean, I think it is about race. Obviously, ultimately, I think that the fact that this black guy stabbed the white guy in the heart was about race. I think it is about race, just in the opposite direction, because some of these people are savages.
About race, but we don't live in a normal world. I would like to believe a majority of people don't believe in some, like,
I agree.
Civil War.
Again, I still think that this is a minority. Even like we're seeing like all these videos of black people posting this shit, I don't think it's a majority of black people that think this way. To be clear, I don't think so. But it's way too many.
A race war thing and still believe in the kumbaya bullshit. Like, I just want to be like, okay, this is just a minority of crazy people on the internet. At least that's what I tell myself.
Damn.
So that was that video. Hopefully you got some enjoyment out of my brain breaking.
Yeah, it was brutal. I love watching the awakening. I love watching people actually wake up and realizing that, yup, a lot of these people just have zero morals. Their foundation was broken, their mind was broken, and now they're immoral retards. The truth is very simple, actually. When you disconnect all of these people from God, or from the actual value system that our country was founded on, or you disconnect them from an actual moral foundation because they believe in moral relativism. Anything can be moral if we just decide on it. We just decided that this is moral now, and we decided that, well, you consent, so therefore it's moral. If you base an entire worldview on spit and duct tape, then yeah, it's gonna fall apart and collapse because it's inherently not functional. All right, ultimately, morals are given to you by a higher power. And the moment you recognize that, the moment you realize that, wow, your opinion really doesn't mean that much, actually. And you wake up and realize, wow, somehow these cultures that are literally worshiping demons are actually fucking retarded. Man, I could not have seen that coming whatsoever. What a shock to me. What a shockaroony. Thanks for being here. This was a big deep dive on all of the things we're deep dived into. Definitely subscribe. We're trying to get more we're trying to surpass Ben Shapiro to become the new top Jew. That's right. Our entire channel is demonetized. If you could support me, that would be very appreciated. And remember to follow me on Kick. I stream every day on Kick. Almost every day. Kick.com/Nuxanor. 3 p.m. streams. It's gonna be big every day if we can. It's gonna be sexy. Support me on Patreon because YouTube hates me. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys.